Hello, and welcome to the BBC. Hey everyone, it's not really the BBC. Hey everyone, welcome. It is me, Fox, from Model Making Guru. Hello, welcome. It's Sunday, it's time for Warhammer Sunday, and as you can see, almost done with the Baneblade now. Almost done. We've got a few little bits and bobs to stick on today, and I might do some little custom bits, and then we can just put it in a box and forget about it till it's time to paint it, and then we can start on something else. So I suspect I will be starting on the next build during today's show, because there's not much left to do on this now. As you can see, we've got all the sponsons on, and we've got the dudes all built up, and yes, update from last week's show. I'll tell you that in a minute, though. But let me put this to one side before I knock all the bits off. Before we get going, as always, time for shout-outs. Big, massive thank you times to all the people that make my content possible, that keep this channel alive, my patrons and my YouTube channel members. Thank you massively to my patrons and YouTube channel members who basically pay my wages. They keep this channel going and make it exist. A big thank you to them. My patrons who joined patreon.com/modelmakingguru. And my YouTube channel members who became members by simply pressing the join button that's just underneath all of my videos. Both of those guys pay my wages, so big massive thank you to them. And of course my corporate supporters, emodels.co.uk and goblingaming.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your tabletop and model making needs. Both of those stores in the description below this video and all my videos. Do check them out. Use those links in the description below. It tells them that I sent you. You don't pay any more, but I get some income from that, so it also helps support my channel while you're buying cool stuff. So yes, welcome. As always, you can see I've got the chat here being watched by Squishy and Guthorm, and you can see there's the archive of the chat here. So if you are watching this and you can't see where the live chat is, you need to be on YouTube. So please do come and join the live chat. It's all about you having a good time and hanging out with your mates. That's what this show is about. It doesn't really matter what I'm doing down here. If you're watching this and you can't see the live chat, just hit the YouTube icon that's down here in the bottom right hand corner. That'll take you to the YouTube page where you can carry on watching and join the live chat. So you should do go and do it. I'm going to take my socks off because of warmth. Every time I start a stream, it goes from Arctic to desertified temperatures, and I start sweating copiously. You don't need to know that. Anyway, yes, so welcome. It's Sunday. We're going to crack on with the Baneblade. Now, let's have a quick look at see who's in chat first before we get going. The first person I can see in the chat, although he may not have been necessarily the first person in the chat, is the Raging Model. So welcome to the Raging Model and Mayhem Model Works, who seem to come together as a pair. A bit like, Crockett and Tubbs, Eric and Ernie, Morecambe and Wise, Grab It and Snatch. I don't know. Just they seem to always be together. There's something going on there. I think they're clubbing together to dominate the world or something. They're definitely chaos when they're together. Wendy Hickson's in. Welcome, Wendy. You can see Wendy's name in chat is in green with a little icon, as are some others. Those are channel members. They're people that are members of my channel. If you become a patron or a member, you get access to a lot of my video content a week in advance, advert free. So it's worth joining in. We have Scaly Models. Dad is one of your mods and the loveliest of the mods. I have various moderators. Chris at Gross Models and Scaly Models are in chat right now. They'll keep you safe, but if you cross them, they'll cut you in half and feed you to the shrimps. So don't cross them. But hey, Dad, big dad hugs to Dad. Everybody give Dad hugs, because Dad always gets dad hugs. Everybody do that now. I'll just sit and wait for you. Mayhem Model Works. Nim Cinderin is in. Welcome, Nim. We have Scale Model Muse arrives and says, wow, I seriously overslept. Morning all. Welcome, Muse. Mayhem Model Works offers lots of coffees for Muse. We have, who else is in? James Purcell's in. Howdy, says James. Welcome, James. From, I think you're in Phoenix, are you? I think you said later on. Somewhere in the warm part of America. Panzer Koenig is in. Welcome, Panzer. We have Gemma Williams is in. Hey, Gemma. Of course, Chris at Gross Models is in as well. Apparently, Chris has been in trouble a little bit so far today. He's been told off a bit. So, yeah. But Gemma's in space at the moment with painkillers. So, hello to Gemma in space. How many stars are there? We have... Who else has come in? We have... And Paul Di Tommaso is in. Welcome, Paul, my friend. If you haven't seen it already, I posted a video up early this week where Paul sent me some goodies from the Canadian, so do go and check it out. Some beautiful 3D printed goodies. Wayne Ward is in. Morning, Paul. Morning, Fox. Morning, Dad. Welcome, Wayne. Welcome to you, my friend. Another channel member there. We have... Went really high there, didn't it? Phil East is in. Welcome, Phil. We have... Who else? Lee. Oh, it jumped. Oh, it jumped. I've lost my place now. Oh, flipping Nora. Oh. If I miss you out, it's YouTube's fault. Lee Stevenson's in. Welcome, Lee. How you doing, my friend? We have Common Road Junction is in. Welcome, Common Road Junction. We have Stuart Hayes, the Manc Turner. Welcome, Stuart. Edward Leonard, of course, is in. Welcome, Edward. Nice to see you again, my friend. Israel Martinez is in. Welcome, Israel. Is it Israel or Israel? I like to get these things right, although I don't know how you're going to tell me that in chat. Dumb question. How do you pronounce your name? You can't really put that in writing, can you? Ignore me. I'll just say Israel. Yeah, I'm just talking rubbish. And that's up to date with the chat so far. Fox, am I excused? I hugged everyone earlier virtually, says Panzer. If you've already given dad hugs, then, you know, you're excused. But if you haven't yet given dad a dad hug, you need to give dad hugs. That's the law. Right, so I think I'm up to date with chat. I need to already, before I even got going, clean my glasses. Because I've got a little bit of... First way, Israel. There you go. Well played. Welcome, Israel. Got a bit of schmutz on my lens. I've got like a little bit of... I made me brew and I think I must have got a little splash of the coffee goodness, which is a horrendous waste of the coffee goodness, I have to say. Well, give me lens a bit of a clean. Gentlemen, clean your lens. Right, so, yes. Here come the sniffles, of course. Lee Stevenson is channeling his inner fox by gunk washing with starship filth. Yes, good girl. Sarah Jane's in. Hey, Sarah Jane. Now, if you remember last week, I futzed and fiddled and swore a little bit in my mind with the Deathcore of Krieg dudes in the turret. They've been sorted now. I'm going to take that off. They've been done now. A little bit of an update for you from last week. I haven't glued on the commander. He's just there loose. I'm going to keep him out loose so I can mount him on a thing and I can paint him quite easily then. So he's separate on there. He looks really rather fabulous. The gunner, I glued the turret in. Remember, I put some plastic card at the bottom there and I left it all there. But what I did when I went off camera is I put I've put a magnet under there and I've put a little magnet in the bottom of him. So it means, because I couldn't really get him to fit in, it means I can just snick him into place and I can have him facing whichever way I want. Now, I did realise afterwards, if you remember watching last week, I was struggling to get his arms in the right place because his arm is supposed to kind of be on over the top of the grip of the stubber, the heavy stubber. And I couldn't get it right at all. And it turns out his binoculars are too high or too low down and he can't quite sit straight. I've managed to get it looking all right. So his hand is kind of hidden by the stubber if you put him that way. One thing I realised might have been easier if I was going to have him gripping the weapon, because you can have him gripping the weapon grip instead, was just to, if you're making this and if you've got the Deathcore, Forge World Deathcore tank crew, if you want the guy actually manning the gun, glue the arms to the dude and glue the dude to the gun and then mount the gun into the turret. He will be floating in midair if they don't put that piece of plastic card there. A bit like this guy, just kind of floating in midair. But I think the easiest way would be to glue, if you're having him holding the weapon, attach the dude to the handle of the gun so he's mounted it and then glue the gun in, because it doesn't matter if he's floating in midair. It's kind of a weird thing that they're going to have half the figure, but anyway, I've magnetized him and he can just slit in there now. So when I paint this guy, I can paint him separately. That's glued in. I can paint him separately and then I can just put him in there. However I want him, facing that way, and then when I'm transporting this, of course, I can take the turret off. I can take the dude. I might not glue that in because it's going to make transporting easier. The one thing I have realised, which was a bit of a mistake, was gluing on these antennae, because when it comes to transporting this now, I've got two great big antennae sticking out. Yeah, it might have been more sensible to put tiny magnets in the back of these. And so, yeah, I blew my trousers on that one. I'll hold my hands up there. So we've got the turret done. I did go ahead, I finished all 4 sponsons as you saw last week. These aren't glued on. We've just got these on here. These are loose for now. Again, making transportation easier. What I did do this week, while I was hanging out with Chris in his Thursday night live stream, was I added, because I had 2 of the accessory sprues, I had 2 spare wheels. So what I did was I mounted the spare wheels, one on the back of the turret here, and one on the glasses plate here. But all I've done is, you could just glue the wheel on, but it looks a bit weird with the wheel just stuck on the side of the vehicle. If you look at a real life car, usually the spare wheels are bolted on with the bolts on the wheel, but there's a lot of bolts on there, and getting it off be a pain in the bum. So what I figured was, why would you not just have, to make it a lot easier, a cradle in which the spare wheel would sit? So it's not going to fall out, but you can pull it out if you need it, if you can lift such a heavy thing. So all I did was I got some strips of plastic card and a couple of my rivets that my very dear friend Kenneth from Australia made for me. And I just wrapped them around the wheel, glued them in place, and then just stuck them on. Now, I might do more of this sort of stuff today. I don't know yet, but we'll see. But if you are making things like this, I do recommend when you're attaching the plastic strip to the wheel, it's one of the few times where I'd recommend using CA glue, super glue, because the plastic strip is very flexible and bendy. I just got one long piece and wrapped it round, corner by corner, to get the nice firm corners. But if you're using regular like Tamiya cement or extra thin, it doesn't stick fast enough. You put it together, then you've got to sit there for 30 seconds. And when you take your finger off, it will just go like that. So I use super glue on these just so I can push it down, take my finger off, spray it with some kicker, and then it's on then. So I don't like using super glue for plastic on plastic normally, but when I need it to stick now, right now, there and then, click, there, you're done, I do occasionally. So it was fun. So I've done that, and I'm quite proud with that. Little sort of mankinis, as I think somebody called them, to hold my wheels on. Mayhem Model Work says boo. Muse does lots of little hugs, I think. Let's have a look. Let's have a quick look at chat in a second. So we've got that done. I've still not glued the top of this in yet. I might not glue it in at all, because the thing is, once it's in correctly, it ain't going anywhere. You can take the turret out, you can put the turret in. It's not going to come off, it's not going to come out. It might lift up when I take the turret out, but that's fine. But it does mean that for painting, when I'm painting this, I can be painty, get a jar of something like that can... There's me. You see, I've got a little marker here for the centre. I wonder where the other one had gone. It's under there. I can get like a jar or a bottle or something, or one of these things, and I can just simply attach it or mount a bottle or jar, and I can just... And there you go. I've got a mounting point there. So if I leave that top bit off, I might use like one of these things. Oh, there's water in that. Yeah, there's water in my... I'll just go and throw that away. I didn't even know that was there. 1 second. Yeah, rare. I was about to just pick that up randomly with like... And the good job I didn't, because I had water in it. But, you know, I might, like, for example, just blue tack that to there, or something taller than that, like a spray can or something, just so then I've got something to hold on to. So I might leave that unglued for now. It doesn't need to be glued. I've signed it inside, yes. That can go there. Although then again, the other thing, of course, is if I leave this off, this is a handy extra bit of storage. So if I do go to play a game, let's say me and Adam decide to go to Goblin Gaming when the world stops being on fire, and I decide to whoop his orc ass with my Imperial Guard and all their tanks. What I can do is, I've got me, you know, me Crusader case, but if I've got some bits to take with me, why fill up my Crusader case when I've got lots of space in here? It's like a built-in storage space. There you go. That saves me filling up my Crusader case with all these bits when they can just sit in there like that, you see. I'm going to leave this unglued. If you never thought about that, I do often think about things like this, and it's like things like rhinos and things where you can actually take the roof off. No, it's noisy, sorry. Things like rhinos and Taurox Primes where you can leave the roof unglued. I can take the roof off my Taurox Prime. I can get some dudes in there. So, yeah. So it's always a good idea. Give yourself a back door so you can get in and out. You know what I mean? Put that back on again. So what we're going to do today is I have the last few bits to glue on, little bits of accessories and stuff. And then I have a treat for you. I'm going to show you my bits. Yes, you're going to see my bits up close and personal. Yes, I've got my bits bags and boxes out because I'm going to see what else I can add to it. I love doing it. I know I'm not a builder. I don't do building, but I love adding little things like this, little bits of... Ever since Kenneth gave me these rivets, I've loved making little things with rivets and bits. Like these little things here and the filling in the end of the barrels. Oh, I love doing it. It's good fun. So we're going to do that. So we're going to add some bits and bobs and see what tickles my fancy today. So just put all those things over there out of the way carefully. Don't want to break resin things. Have a quick look at chat and then we'll crack on. We have All hugs consumed, God bless you all. Thanks, I'll say that again, I didn't say God bless at all. All hugs consumed, thanks, bless you all. William Rayborn's in, hello Fox, hello William. Colin's in, Festa67's workshop, hello Colin, enjoyed your show with Dave today. If you don't know, if you don't watch it, you should do 12:30 every Saturday. Colin and Dave do their Sunday brunch before I do this, and it's always worth watching. It's a good laugh. Where did Dave go? Because I went downstairs to make Mum and Fox some toast. Did he go off and answer the phone or something? Did he get a phone call from his mum right at the wrong moment again? Yes, hello, Colin. Needs more guns? Yeah. Israel Martinez says, real nice. Thank you very much. Dad Hug says, Edward. Hey, Festa, good morning. Hope you're well, says Wayne. Magnet in his bottom, says Chris at Grace Models. Yes, magnet in his bottom. I don't like using I don't like doing magnets, but at the same time, I like doing magnets. Like if it's something simple like that, drill a little hole, put a magnet in, it's great. But if it was something like I don't know, magnetize this to go on there, that's a bit more tricky because I've got to get a magnet that fits in that hole. And I could probably do that. I've probably got magnets that small. In fact, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Maybe today we'll get a bit of magnet shenanigans. The only thing with magnets is, of course, I use super glue, and I have found over time super glue degrades. I had some bits on my. You'll have the George, if George is watching, on the armigers, because George bought my armigers. The sponsons stick on the pauldrons stick on my magnets, but one of them, the magnet kept popping out because the glue would because the magnet was too strong. Maybe we'll do some magnet goodness. That's okay, Skill Model Muse. My tears are drying, says Colin. Why? What's happened? Oh, that's because Muse overly slept and missed Colin's stuff, and he says my tears are drying. Mayhem says thong wheels, wheel thongs. Yes, it's a thong thing. Spawn thongs. You see, spawn thongs because it's a thong for your spawn. It's not. It's a wheel. Yay, Goblin, ha ha ha, whoop my ass, power claws will cut into that like hot knife through butter. Raging Modeler Adam is making an orc force. I, of course, am building my Death Core and some Tempesta Science and stuff. And the aim is that one day, when the world's not on fire and we can get there, and I've actually got stuff painted up, we'll go and have my first ever game of Warhammer. And I, of course, because he put a picture up yesterday, or the other day, of some orcs that he's bought that he's got to make and paint, and a squad of orcs. And they've got the black and white checkers on them. And I said, you have to make sure to paint those black and white checkers completely and carefully, because I expect to see them as they disappear under the mighty tracks of my mighty Baneblade. I want to see black and white checkers going under those treads. Yeah. Fighting talk, that is. Absolutely fighting talk. I'm going to put that over there. Right, I shall be going before Fox Bits come out. Foxy Bits. It's still missing a carrot glyph. I may have to paint a carrot on it somewhere. Maybe I'll make a squadron of Deathcore whose symbol is a carrot for some reason. Also, enormous coffee. Yeah. Oh, it's a little bit strong. Oh, made it a little bit strong. Not too strong, a little bit strong. So that's the plan for today. But however, before we do the custom bits, I need to find the instructions. Where are they? Instructions, there they are. I do have a few last little bits to put on. I did the ladder on the side. I wanted to put a ladder on. This ladder goes on this side, like that, you'll see. And because I had a second sprue of the spares, I wanted to put one on that side. But they're chiral. You've got two attachment points, a high one and a low one. So, of course, it works on that side where the slope's like that. But on this side, it was the wrong way around. So what I did instead was I thought, screw it, and I glued it on the back here. It makes kind of sense to have it on the back. There's like little foot grips, there's like little foot plates on the back there, so I just glued them on as if there's like a bit of a ladder already. So I've got my second ladder on there. It looks fine. It makes sense. I just wanted to use it basically. But we do have a couple of other bits. What have we got? There's nothing else in the instructions I need to add, but on the spares sprue, I'm not going to put these covers on here. These blanking plates here, because that is boring compared to that. That's awesome. I like that. I'm not touching those. However, I do have the spares, which means I've got to do all the smoke dispensers. I've got to do those. We've also got a toolbox and a crank handle. There's some circle things. I don't know what they are. what they are. I could put some shells on little mounts on the side, but that seems a bit silly. So we've got smoke dispensers on there. And smoke dispensers on there. We have... Do we have anything else that I can... Because I'm doing this as a kind of custom build. I'm not making it straight out as it's supposed to look. Do I have a spare set of barrels? The barrels that mount on the back here. And I'm tempted to do something with them, but I don't know where I would put them. I honestly don't know where they would go. Could be tempted to put some on the back here, but they cover up that fantastic Aquila, and I don't want to do that. So I don't know. I mean, it would make no sense to have fuel barrels on the back of the turret, but this is Warhammer. None of it makes any sense anyway. So I don't know. I'm tempted to do something with the barrels. If you can have any thoughts about where I can put all the extra barrels, do let me know. I've got some extra antenna. I think it might be good to have 4 antennae on it, but I'd have to put magnets in again, and I'd have to drill holes now. I don't think I want to do that quite. Now, what else have we got? We've got a spare piece of track on there. So that's that sprue. That one. Spare piece of track on there. We have... Now, there are, of course, all the dudes that I didn't use. And there's also all bits of spare hull armour and stuff like that. There's also a whole extra load of stubbers. But there's nowhere to mount those, I don't think. So I shall just keep these as spares anyway. I will, over the course of the future, build more Baneblades. Having lots of extra Baneblade parts is never a problem. Nothing on there. Nothing on there. Not really. Okay, cool. A few little bits I can add on. Some smoke launchers. Yeah. I could... It would be interesting to have these stubbers not mounted, but just attached to the side of the hull, like they're just spares. I don't know why you would have that in a vehicle, like a big machine gun just strapped to the side. I did honestly think there were things like spades and shovels as well. We've got some more handles there. I thought we got like spade. Oh yeah, we got a jackhammer there, a lump hammer. But not to worry. We've got some little grabby handles. See, I could do like a stack of stubbers piled up and strapped down, like they're just added. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Put that there. These are all therefore no needed. Let's get the out-of-the-box bits done first. I'll just put that over there. Let's get the official add-ons done first, like the smoke dispensers and stuff, and then we'll start thinking about getting my bits out for you. I will make you a deal. When I defeat you and destroy the Baneblade, I will buy one, build it like yours, and then orc it up for continuity. That's something... Well, you can at least rest assured you'll never have to spend that money, because you're not going to win. You're not going to beat my Baneblade, because my Baneblade will also have a Macarius Vanquisher and an Infernus, Malcador Infernus, and a Hydra. So, and a Tempestus Prion? Tempestus Prion? That's not a real thing. I don't know. Koenig is correct. You need a carrot on the tank, either from the aerial or painted on the tank. Yes. The right side is a little plain. Could use some barrels and carrots. Carrots is always good. Carrot-shaped barrels. More carrots are needed. Hey, Jeff. Yes, hey, Candygram. How you doing, my friend? Now, I do have lots of other bits of tank stuff as well, so it might be a case of blapping things all over. But let's get the official stuff done first. We have smoke dispensers. How many have we got? How many are you supposed to do? By the way, that looks like a Panzer IV, a little stubby gun. I do like that with the shorter gun. The Hellhammer does kind of work. So, say anything about smoke. See, you never know. I never know with tanks whether they're smoke launchers, smoke dispensers, or grenade launchers, because technically they can be either. Now, my understanding is that grenade launchers tend to have like covers over the end, so you don't necessarily drill them out, but smoke dispensers tend just to be tubes, so they do have holes. So I think I might make, I don't know, if anybody out there does tanks, tanky stuff. I don't really want to drill the holes out. So would that be a smoke? I'll cut them off the sprue first. Would it be a smoke dispenser that would have the cap on the end, or would that be a grenade dispenser that would have the cap and the smoke dispenser is just a tube? I never know. Right, so lenses on. Now don't forget, of course, I've got the chat in front of me. I will have my lenses on here, which means that that'll all be blurry, as you can no doubt see when I do that. It's all a bit blurry. So if you want to catch my attention in chat, and please do, remember, if you're watching this and you're not in chat, come and join the chat. Please do come and join the chat. If you want to get my attention, though, please put your comment in massive, massive capital letters so I have a chance to see it. It stands out amongst the morass of chat comments. Or if you want to, you can do a super chat by simply pressing the dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. That also helps. Not only does it put your comment in a big colour box so I have a chance to see it, I can't possibly miss your comment, but it also helps support this channel as well, because it's a little bit of income for me. So do feel free, if you would like to do a super chat, you're more than welcome. I would love you deeply, but it also means I have a better chance of seeing your comment. Feel free. It's a little tray. Oh, there's bits in there, spare bits, but I'm not going to use those bits. We're waiting for Fox's bits to appear. Chats will ensue. Super chats will ensue. Hey, the covers are there just to cover the holes. Okay, so I can technically leave the covers on and then just say whatever they are is made up nonsense. That works for me. If I can just get away with not having to drill them out, that would be fantastic. I did it on the Lehman Russ. I did it on blows the dust off. Did it on the Lehman Russ, and hang on, I pressed the button on me. I did it on the Lehman Russ. You can see there the smoke dispensers, and it's an immense pain in the backside. So yeah, not doing that again if I can avoid it. And the ones on the turret here, they were kind of also had holes already, but I drilled them out even more because I've seen pictures of tanks with holes and pictures of tanks with no holes, so I didn't really know. I don't know much about tanks and things. Chris says it's super chat, so he puts his bits away. Yeah, that could be a benefit, to be honest. Now, I've also remembered as well, we've got one of these little windows to put on because the instructions mysteriously didn't bother to tell you to do that, but there is one spare. I've just spotted it now. That's a good job I did, because there you go. And I'm hoping this is a spare piece of track. I think it is. And not a piece of track that I forgot to do. We do have, what have we got? Any spare bits? This is the commander and stuff. I don't really need that. There is a dude that goes on a little base. There's a commissar that stands on a little base by himself. I'm not going to use that. There's a las pistol there. That might come in handy. I'll cut that off. I do have many las pistols and rifles in my spares anyway. I'll get that off the sprue anyway. That bit. What do we have on here? We had people sending me emails. Yes. We had these two massive stubbers. I think these are the ones that go in the back if you do the one with this open area at the back. Don't want to do anything with those. Yeah, I can have them. I could potentially have them strapped up on the side of the vehicle as if they're like there for alternative reuses. It's just a bit of extra flavour, isn't it? Let's be honest. They're not going to be used in battle, but it can always be like, yes, they're there in case the tank commander wants to change the armaments on them. I don't know, let's just make it up. My headcanon never makes any real sense, so let's just make that up out of whole cloth nonsense. Seems valid to me. We'll get the little handles. Oops. Just like it's a big pile of weapons on the side of the tank, strapped up ready for future use, you see. Why wouldn't you have a big pile of weapons? I think that's all I can use on there. Yep. Sprue be done. Box. Get back in the box. Anyway, yes, how are you all? Now, I know Dad has already asked the question. Of course, Dad has asked the question, bench and belly. What's on your bench And what's in your belly? What are you working on right now? It doesn't have to be a model. Could be a drawing, could be a sculpture, could be DIY, could be, you know, putting plumbing in your house, could be anything. But what's on your bench? What are you working on? And what's in your belly? What are you planning for dinner tonight, or what have you had for your dinner tonight? Really want that stubber, but we'll have it on there anyway. There's a. Why is the? What is? There's the tip of a las rifle there. Why is the? Oh, because it's a coaxial gun, perhaps. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so that can go back in the box. What I will do eventually is when I get time, I'll go around and take all these parts left over off the sprues, and just that'll become they'll go into my bits bags. I have a bits bag for like armor, and bits bag for Imperial Guard, and bits box or bag for Tempestus Scions and things like that. So always, that's the good thing about Games Workshop kits. They always give you lots of spare things, especially with the Baneblade, because you can make 8 different versions. So I will at some point go through and take all the bits off. Should I do these barrels? I don't know. Where can I? I'll get them out anyway. It does mean spending an hour messing about with plastic card again and filling all the gaps, but hey, I'll get them out and see if I can put them anywhere first. Then if I can, brilliant. It's worth the effort. If I can't, it's not a problem. I can use them somewhere else. We'll get them off the sprues. Yes, so I hope everyone is well. All doing okay. Oops. No great news from me, I'm afraid. As always, not much been going on this week. Real life's got in the way of doing pretty much anything. I've done a few gaming streams, and that's all I've been able to really do, to be honest. A couple more. Okay, there's a couple more aerials there. I have a cunning. Oh, I have a cunning plan. There's a little recess there. Let's just get these aerials off and just have a think. We might not finish this today. All these little bits I'm cutting off. I'm having some thinks about these. You may get to see me do some magnety goodness, which I don't normally do. I'm not really bothered about... Oh, there's more smoke dispensers there. Woo! More grenade launchers. I'm not really fussed about adding missiles, and I don't even know what the hell they are. Like shells to the... There's little mounting points for shells to put them on the side of the vehicle, but yeah, you wouldn't really have a shell sitting around on the outside of your tank, would you? Even in 40k, that would make no sense at all. I do have some more exhausts. I could add more exhausts to it. Where can I put more exhausts? I think we should put more exhausts on it. I think it needs more exhausts. Because more exhausts always seems to be a correct answer to me. It gives you more exhausts here, so I think we should just say more exhausts as often as possible. There's 2 more there. Might be able to put them somewhere. Exhausts. All the exhausts in the world. There we go. Like I said before, I've said before on many times, I am making this just for myself. This isn't one that I'm going to be selling. So I'm just having fun with this now. It's a test build. So I can evaluate how easy this kit is to build and paint. So that in the future, when I will build more of these to sell, specifically just to sell, I can kind of estimate how long I'm going to need to spend doing it and what the issues and difficulties are with building it, if any. So this is more my sort of test build, just to get my head around it. We've got more tools, but not more exhausts. We've used the exhausts already. Okay. More tools though. It's the advantage of buying an extra spare sprue. Yeah, we might not get this finished today. If you are thinking about doing a Baneblade, I do recommend, if you want to have real good fun times, you get enough in the box to build one Baneblade, one of 8 versions of a Baneblade. But I do recommend, if you want to, there is a spares sponson sprue. It's basically, you're just buying a couple of the sprues already in the kit. You're buying a couple more of them. The sprues that include the sponson parts. because when you build the kit from the box, you get 2 sponsons. If you get the spares kit, you can build 4 sponsons. You get 2 of them, you can build 6. But you also get all the extra little sort of tools like these and other bits and bobs. It's worth getting the extras sprue, just for fun. There we go, that's them. Right, so we'll do these first. We'll see how far we get, if I need to get my bits out. Let's have a look at chat though before we get going. I'm cleaning things up. Fox covers there to cover the holes. Super chat's put his bits away. If I may have some big burps today because I wasn't feeling very well last night and I've got a bit of a stomach thing going on today and I'm a bit burpy, so maybe a bit burpier than normal. I can't promise I might not do a verp as well, but I'll try and keep that to myself. Yeah. Any more talk of his bits could lead to an OnlyFans account. Ew. Fox, some crews mix and match smoke and grenades in the launchers depending on the tactical situation. Okay, so they're basically the same, they're just tubes. I'll leave them with the covers on there. A computer is on my bench as at work watching you. Haha, says Stewpot. Hey Stewpot, how you doing, my friend? Let's have a look. It jumped. I've lost track of it. I've lost track of where the chat is now. There we are. When on strong meds, I never quite know if I'm hearing understanding things properly, says Gemma. Fox bits have been mentioned a few. Oh, I see, yeah. Yes, I might get my bits out in a bit. Skill Muse says, well, coffee and on the bench is a notebook, trying to get all of my modelling notes in one place. It's worth a try. It won't happen. You'll give up after about a week if you build something. I've tried that. I've got 2 notebooks for painting orders for things, and it never gets past a few notes. Phil East, belly is cheese scone and the bench, or scone even, and the bench is chaos cultists just learning how to paint flames, cabron. I've not actually tried painting flames yet. Raging Modeler, belly, nothing and no plans. You need to eat things. Just noodles. Noodles is always a good option if you can't think of what to eat. You need to eat food or you'll die. We'll try though. Bench, Mortis and Bone Shaper and Bone Reaper, Chaos Lord, Orc Megaboss and Orcs. Coffee in the F91 from William Rayborn. He's building an F91 Gundam. EC Idaho, welcome EC Idaho. Breakfast Life Cereal. I don't know what that means. A bench 1/100th ground GM. Jolly good. Handygram says, 40 watching and I'm seeing only 10 thumbs up. Come on, everyone, we can do better than this. Yes, do give me a thumbs up. When you do a thumbs up on a video, it makes that video appear higher in the YouTube listings and helps your favourite creators get noticed. So, always helps. Wayne Haywood, bench Dread Minis, belly roast chicken and Christmas chocolates. James Purcell, Ultramarines, in belly is fried pork, steak, mashed taters and turnip greens. Ooh. Ostriches says belly, salami and smoked cheese sandwiches, bench and big battleship. Shells of the outside of the tank, shell of a good time, says Mayhem. Yes. Missiles on a tank would just get in the way of the sword attacks. Absolutely. Drive it closer so I can stab him with my sword. Panzer Koenig says Panzer Koenig has just alienated everybody in the chat by saying he's got a slab of cheesecake. Everybody who hasn't got cheesecake right now hates Panzer Koenig. Like me. I'm like, oh, cheesecake now. Belly, a slab of cheesecake. I'm only joking. Belly, a slab of cheesecake. Bench, 4 missiles that my build plans may change since Amazon delivered my missing order of tank transporters. Underdog Paintings in. Welcome, Underdog. How you doing, my friend? Damn Mayhem, now I am thinking, says Phil East. Stuart Hayes says, on the bench today we are revisiting Death Guard. In the bell is bacon and coffee. Yes, in the belly. Mayhem Model Works. Anyone notice the Games Workshop Death Guard pre-order video has a copyright message in the audio file? I have no idea. How do you see the audio file? I'm having a swig of coffee now. Yum. Yum, 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 yum. I'm more interested in why you'd be looking at an audio file through anything other than just watching the video. I don't understand. Right. Do some cleaning up bits. Don't know where to start now. I've just got a big pile of crap I need to clean up. I didn't really plan that very well, did I? Let's get a big one of these. But why not just... Yeah, we'll just work our way through. I'll leave the barrels till last because they are a complicated cleanup job. I'll leave them to one side for now. Yeah, I hate cheesecake, says James Purcell. Oh, cheesecake's great. Speedy curates in. Hey, Spid. watch the video and listen is what I mean. Oh, you mean it actually literally says copyright 2021 Games Workshop? Okay. What you mean is, isn't it weird how this... Is that what you mean? They actually say out loud about copyright? I haven't seen it, so I don't know. I know not of what you speak. But you do get points for saying sheesh, and I'm getting flashbacks to Chie in Persona 4. Oh, Chie. Chie was great. Who wouldn't like a girl who likes steak exclusively and also kung fu movies and just beats everybody up? My kind of girl, that is. Get these little nubs off here. I don't particularly want to use the tip of my cutters, but no way to get in there. A little bit at a loss. Go, get that bit off. Get that over there, you can go over there. In the bin you go, and away they go. Cleaning times. So this may just be mostly cleaning today. I can't say it's not going to be anything but cleaning things up. It might be. That will be very disappointing, I know, but hey, it's all part of the process. Can't think of anything to talk about now. I've not been doing anything, not been able to do anything this week, so for the love of dog, talk amongst yourselves in chat. If you can think of something I can talk about, do give me ideas. Remember, no religion and politics, but anything else is fair game in chat. Treat it as an ask me anything if you want to. It doesn't have to be about model making. You can ask me anything you want. But I wish I hadn't mentioned noodles now, because all I really want is noodles. I don't have any noodles. No. Get rid of these nubs first, and then we'll worry about the mould line. Nubs on this circular bracket at the bottom, the ring at the bottom, is a right pain to get off. Come back to that. Nubs on tubes. Always challenging. Oops, slip. No, not stabity. Now, these are going to be exhaust pipes, so I am going to make them rusted and corroded, so I'm not too worried if I take a big gouge out of the plastic. They're going to be a bit scruffy and knackered and broken. But, you know, keep it to a minimum if you can. There we go. Snippety. I'll have a look at chat in a minute. No. Well, there's a flashback to Sesame Street. Can't remember what it was now. The little animated things they had. No. Some animated thing. What was it now? Oh, it's going to bug me now. One of the, the little sort of 2-minute long cartoons they used to repeat all the time. One of them was something. There was a character going no. I can't remember it now. I'll remember it like at 2 in the morning tomorrow. But not only will I remember it and be like, that's what it was, then I'll be like, why the hell have I remembered that? What? Well, I've forgotten that I was even thinking about it. Oops. I've not seen Sesame Street since I was a kid. Do they still have all the old 1970s animated things? Because they were great. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that one, and you know, they're a bit 70s, weren't they? The one about how a bill passes through the Senate, that one as well. That was quite good. And what was the other ones? There's loads of little animated ones that we all remember. The funny thing was, when I was a kid watching Sesame Street, they'd reuse the same sketches over and over again. Like the one with Grover in the restaurant, where there's the waiter going in through, coming out the door at the back and asking him questions, and he always gets it wrong. And the waiter's back and forth over and over and over again. Or is it? No, Grover's the waiter, sorry. And there's a customer here, and he keeps going off into the door at them. They showed that particular sketch so many times. It's like, well, as a kid, you didn't notice that. You didn't care. Great. No. What the hell was it now? God, I can't remember. I'm sure you've already answered in chat. Nub. Hello, something happened. Electric Shock Can Kill subscribed. It's a very good name. It's a good way to remember as well. Thank you for subscribing, Electric Shock Can Kill. And Swamp Peefy subscribed. Thank you very much, Swampy Swampy. Thank you very much to both of you for your subscriptions. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future goodness. I was about to say something, I can't remember now. Oh yeah, all the good TV's finished. So, well, Expanse is still going, but Discovery's come to the end of the season. What else has finished? Have I been watching? I don't know. I'll leave that conversation there because I actually got bored talking about it halfway through talking about it. I suddenly realised only a few things I've been watching. Here's the thing though. I love The Expanse, but is it just me? I'm not going to give any spoilers, don't worry, but is it just me? And please don't put spoilers in chat because not everybody's watched it. Is it just me, or is this series of The Expanse a bit boring? It's not very... I don't know, it's just a bit of a slog because nothing's really happening. And everything that's happened so far in The Expanse in the like 5 or 6 episodes could have happened in like 2 or 3 episodes in previous seasons. It's just a bit... It seems a bit of a slog this season. I don't know why. I love The Expanse, but it seems a bit boring. Oh. I say, I'm not going to do any spoilers, but it's like, you know, the whole big thing has happened in the last season. And it's a big momentous thing, and now we're just dealing with interpersonal nonsense, and it's like, oh, really? There's the whole, you know, big thing that happened that kind of pushed to one side. Okay. It seems a little... I can't really explain it without telling you what's going on, and if you've not watched any of it, you don't want any spoilers. It does seem a little weird. Little boring. Basically just been the whole series has been sort of ship in a bottle episodes almost. I enjoyed Discovery though. The latest season of Discovery was quite good. I enjoyed that. That was really good. I think they're going to get into the proper flow of it now with the standalone stories. The way the series ended suggested that. That's nice. We like that. Mandalorian, of course, it's fantastic. Can't wait for the next one. The next series next year. Has been going on. That's about it, really. At the moment, I'm just watching through The West Wing again. Usually once every few years, I'll binge watch The West Wing or House or something like that. Something that's got a full run season, at least 7 seasons, I'll just binge watch it. While I'm eating my tea and something, I'll have something to watch. It was good to have backups. You've got something to watch and there's nothing else on. It's a bit tricky one. I'll have to file that one. I do remember cleaning up smoke dispensers / grenade launchers is a pain in the bum. I do remember that. Hang on, I need to clear my throat. One sec. There we go. I don't know why. I only did that so you knew something was happening. You didn't think the stream had fallen over. Get that there. Yes, I will have a look at chat in a second. I know I can't really see chat when I'm working. Don't forget, of course, another way to get my attention in chat is just to do @ModelMakingGuru. And it'll put my name in an orange box and I can see it standing out then. I'd much prefer you use the super chat, of course, because that pays my bills. But you can do capitals if you want. You can do @. I strongly recommend you do @ for people anyway. Just @ and their screen name. That's how they know you're responding to them. you just type in their name, they don't see it. You want to make sure somebody sees your comment or reply, at them. Toolbox, of course, with an Aquila on it, of course. Lump hammer with an H. Lamp hammer. Tiny bits now. More smoke dispensers. Whoa. I don't know if I'll need all 4 of these, actually. I think I only need 2. There's 2 little mounting points. Matron. There's a bit of a stubber. Stubber. I love the idea of the machine guns being called stubbers, because kinetic weapons are kind of all but virtually useless in the Warhammer universe. Because, you know, against Space Marines, they're just irrelevant. Massive, heavy machine guns can do nothing against ceramite armour. They're really just against unprotected things. Maybe that's why they call them stubbers, because they're like, what? I didn't feel that. And like we said last week, it's just another example of, oh god, these are handrails, aren't they? Just another example of how the Warhammer universe is, compared to ours, is violent and explosive and dangerous. But even the lowest of the low weapons in the Warhammer universe would just wipe us off the face of the earth. But they're always virtually useless in Warhammer world. Las guns. Right, these are the grips for the weapons. The stubbers. I might not use these, it's just I'm going to clean them up anyway, and then we'll see if I can make a little bit of a vignette out of them. It might just be like, you know, the three stubbers just bundled up. Maybe I'll get some easy line and make it like they're all tied up with rope, just on the side, ready to be used if needed. Maybe they're just transporting them for someone. You never know. For some reason in my head right now, I've got that bloke from Fallout 4, the one you never meet, but the one that's got the pet Mirelurks that he's trying to train and condition. And all I can hear is, claws are for hugging, not nipping. I don't know why it's in my head. I really don't know why it's in my head. I've forgotten his name, but he loves his lurkies anyway. He's obviously dead. He didn't last for him. I have been thinking, by the way, if you watched some of my previous streams this week, I've been umming and ahhing about doing some Patreon and member exclusive streams of a Thursday and Friday, like once a month. The plan I'm playing with at the minute is that at the moment on a Thursday and on a Friday and a Saturday, sorry, it's Fallout Friday and Skyrim Saturday. It will go back to being Elite Dangerous one day, and that's every Friday and Saturday. But what I was planning was the first Friday and Saturday of each month I will make exclusive for patrons and channel members, and it'll be like a workbench stream like this kind of thing. I won't be doing video games, but it'll be exclusive for patrons and members. And at first my plan was to have both days available to patrons and channel members, so they can both watch at the same time live, and then when they're finished they're only available for members and patrons. However, that would actually be a real problem, because I'd have to do the live stream, download the live stream, alter it and re-upload it so I can have a private version for members and a private version for patrons. Because I can make a video members only, but I can't make a video patron only, because nothing to do with YouTube. I have to do that a different way. So what I think I'm going to do, I need to clear my throat again. 1 second, guys. What my plan is is that maybe starting in February, I don't know yet, we'll see, is that for the first Friday and Saturday of the month, what I'll do is one of the days, let's say, for example, Friday might be members only, and then Saturday it will be patrons only. And that way, I don't have to download, because downloading a 3-hour video and then re-uploading it and editing it it'll take a day, wasting a day uploading. So what I might do is have like a Friday and a Saturday. Friday might be patrons or members, and Saturday will be the other one. And that way you all get a free live stream. Without adverts, of course, because it's for patrons and members. There'll be no adverts, nothing like that, not monetized, and exclusively for you guys. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I think I'll do one of each. It's going to be easier for me and more practical for me. Otherwise, I'll just spend my entire life downloading, uploading live streams all the time. I'm thinking that anyway. Do let me know if, in chat or in feedback other ways, if you think it's a good or bad idea. Let me know. Has anyone ever asked you to tell your life story and how you got into model making, says Lee. Oh, not my life story, but I often get asked how I got into model making. Is that your way of asking me my life story and how I got into model making? Yeah, I've been asked quite a few times. I've told the story many times about I've always been a bit creative, so I always did drawing, and when I was a kid I made models. I'll quickly say it here because I've been over it before, but I used to make models as a kid just to make something to play with. I didn't, make models to paint. And then my dad says to me, right, if you're going to make models, you've been doing it for years, you build them and you paint them and you break them. I mean, you build them and you play with them, you break them. I'm going to take you to the model shop, I'm going to buy you a proper model and buy you paints and everything, you're going to do it properly. And he encouraged me to do it and said, build that. I bought a Tamiya 135th T62A. This is back in the mid-80s. 135th T62A. We went to a big model shop in Manchester, right near the Central Library. I don't think it's there anymore, it might not be. Big, massive model shop. Took me in there. There's models everywhere. Yeah, got T62A. Tamiya paints and stuff. I didn't know about them at the time. So, a load of paints and brushes and stuff. And I built it and painted my first ever proper painted model. And that kind of gave me the bug then. It was down to my dad just saying, if you're going to do that, if you're going to spend your spends, because I was getting in, spends every week. If you're going to spend your money on that, then why don't you do it properly? And he showed me, he didn't make models himself. He just wanted me to do it. And I'm like, you know what? That was a really good idea. Thanks for that. And that got me into it. And then I carried on doing that then throughout the 80s and 90s. Kind of stopped making models around about the late 90s, early 2000s. And then got back into it about 2011, 2010, something like that. Right. Let's see what we can do with these exhausts. I've got these extra exhausts. Oh, we're looking at chat, weren't we? Sorry. Yes, people ask me, yeah. Wendy Hickson's back. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, something just fell over. What was that? Oh, hello, that's what it was. I've got things falling all over the place. Wendy Hickson's back. No, Hoover. I don't know what that means. They ruined Sesame Street. No. I can't remember what it was. Was it Hoover? Might have been a Hoover. Vacuum cleaner. Grover, what a Burke. Oscar the Grouch and Cookie Monster, the counting count, clearly. Fox, was it the Swedish Chef in the Muppets? No, that was no. That was a different thing altogether. This was a little animated thing. Sort of 2D animated thing. Here's a flashback for you. 2 times more shine, says James. Yeah, I've not used that for a while. Mayhem, I think, has just broken his brain. Oipa Doipa get the boogie skewers. I don't know that. He should watch War for Cybertron, says Raging Modeler. No, that's Transformers. I'm not going to be watching that nonsense. Read episode 1 of Alex Rider last night after Chris's mention. It looks good, a slightly more serious approach than the movie. I don't know what that is. My brother keeps telling me to watch The Expanse. I'm on a roll with the hobby stuff and Ghost Recon there. Well, we don't have to. Anyone start One Division? No, I'm not interested in that kind of stuff. Speaking as both a patron and a channel member, it's fine, says Gross Models. Thank you. Yep, Chris, thumbs up on Alex Rider. Going to tell my boy about it. He's a fan of the movie and books. Oh, that's the young adult fiction, isn't it? Oh, okay, right, okay. I know what you mean now, yes. Right. I think I'm up to date with chat. So let's see, can we put these exhausts anywhere? Now, of course, you will be saying, well, exhaust should be at the back because where the engine is. But this is Warhammer. None of it has to make any sense at all. There's no legal requirement for anything to make any sense in any way. Although it would help if an exhaust actually came out of somewhere. I could put, do you know? Apart from the fact you see the hole on the back, it would fit rather deliciously here somewhere. It would make no sense at all being there, but it does fit. I think we've got a place for our exhausts. I need to make sure I've got one for the other side though, so that can go there. That side, this one go. It just kind of, there's a little dimple in there, and it just kind of fits where the rivets are, which is quite nice. That one can go on this side. There's no ladder to balance it though. One can go. How did that one go on? Why did I have this one now? Like that. Yeah, I'm just fettling. Give me a second. I don't want to put one on and then find I can't put the other one on, because that would be a bit dumb. I want to have better. I want some kind of continuity. That would fit nicely alongside the exhaust there. That'd be quite nice actually. It would be completely dumb as rocks. It'd make no, I'll cut that little bit off there. It'd make no sense at all. But then that would be here. Would sit like that maybe. I think we can have extra exhaust on this puppy. I think we are definitely going to have extra exhaust on this puppy. Extra exhaust, always the correct answer. How many exhausts should it have? All of them. Excellent. I'll add all the exhausts. There's never any other answer than all when it comes to Warhammer. What's the correct answer? It's always all is always the correct answer. Snip these little tabs off there. These are spares because it's the duplicate of the sprue that had the exhaust on anyway, so they're all spare. Let's clean these up. Cleaning, 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 cleaning all the seams away. If in doubt, stick more exhaust on it. Yeah, so no interest in Transformers. That kind of nonsense. It's not my bag, Transformers, I'm afraid. Nor Marvel stuff. No interest in superheroes and such nonsense. Never have. Doesn't float my boat at all. I did watch the all the Avengers movies, and they were all right. I enjoyed them, but I just have no interest in the actual. Yeah, doesn't float my boat. But yes, I did watch all the Avengers movies, and the Iron Mans and stuff, and that was only because I was sat around bored and I had nothing to do, and I thought I need something to watch, and I can't remember how. I didn't have to pay for them. They were all like free, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll might have been something on Amazon Prime. So I don't know. I can't remember how I got it, but they're all free. They weren't like ropey knockoffs. They were all legitimate, but free. And I'm like, okay. I think I had to pay for one of them, but the rest were on some offer. Well, okay, I can do that. All just nonsense, isn't it? Really, superhero rubbish. Not my thing. Give me Batman any day. Except, yeah, nothing after Michael Keaton. So, yeah, actually, in terms of movies, yeah, maybe not. 1989 Batman or GTFO, basically. There are no other Batman movies. Not yet, anyway. Right, so I'm not too fussed about making this exhaust nice and perfect and clean and smooth. On camera, yes. Because, like I said, it's going to be rusted and corroded. Although the little straps that go around it, I might make out that they're not made of... Well, I don't know, actually. If you look at an exhaust, sometimes this muffler part might be a different metal, so it might be that's some kind of non-corroding aluminium or something. And the rest of it's all iron or steel or whatever that can corrode, so I might not make all of it rusted and corroded. Definitely some of it. Yeah, that's looking not too bad, but I'm not too fussed if it's a little rough around the edges, because it's going to be worn. Knife times. Scrape the schmutz off there. I don't mind, for example, if there's little bits of fluffy roughness left where I've sanded or scraped, because that can just look like corrosion when it's painted up. So this is a stick. A little bit of a mould line there. Something's rattling. Hang on, I need to deal with this. It's what's rattling. Hang on. we've had this conversation desk about things that rattle. Something touching something else. Why is that fallen over? Hang on, back of my head. There we go. You've got a workbench that's not made out of solid wood or rock or something. Things rattle a bit, and there's something rattling against something else. It does my bean in. Can't be doing with that nonsense. Too distracting. For a long time, there was I don't know what it was, but whenever I was sanding like this, something on this desk would make a little tiny creaking noise on the bench. I don't think I ever found out what it was. It was almost like something was rubbing against something else, like friction, and there's like but I reorganized the desk at one point last year and took everything off and tidied it up and cleaned it up and put it all back again, and that seems to have fixed it. So it was probably like my spray booth rubbing against a light or something. But I remember spending ages one day trying to figure out what the hell the source of this sound was. I couldn't tell if it was the bench itself or something on the bench. It drove me nuts. It was my whale, my white whale. One exhaust. A quick look at chat. Plastic Monkey says, hi everyone. Hi, Plastic Monkey. Be right back. Got to load my second delivery, says James Purcell. I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. Have fun. Muse is waving. I'm drinking coffee. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you're a member or a patron, let me know what you think about that idea of like one day for patrons, one day for members. I say I could do both days, but it would be just I'd spend most of the next day downloading, editing, because the difficulty with YouTube is you can't have the same video twice, and I can't make a video members only, but then somehow get patrons to get access to it. So, and I can't make a video patrons only without it not appearing on the members only. There is a members only playlist. If you are a channel member, by the way, there's not much on there now, but if you're a channel member, if you click on the community tab on my YouTube homepage, that's where I'll post up things saying, hey, this video's up now, go and watch it for members, because you can do members only posts. But there is actually a playlist specifically for members. Funnily enough, it's called the members only playlist, and only members can see the videos on there. I mean, everybody can see them, but only members can watch them. So I can't make a video members only without patrons losing access to it, and I can't make it patrons only without members not being able to see it in the members only playlist. Hang on, clearing my throat. God damn it. I never get a frog in my throat until I'm doing a live stream. There's no way to do both. What I would have to do is, like I said, do a live stream, like 3-hour live stream, wait for it to fully render, another couple of hours, download it, which wouldn't take long, a few minutes. Then I'd have to edit it because you can't have the same video twice. In the past, when I've done a video that's gone up for members and patrons and say for remodels, something like that, I've had to upload multiple different copies of it with slight tweaks. So for example, when I upload an e-models video, it goes into early access for members and for patrons, and it also then after a week becomes available to everybody. So what I have to do is I have to upload it 3 times. I have to upload the video to eModels channel. I have to upload the video to my channel and make it patron only. And I have to upload it to my channel, excuse me, and make it members only. And then when it's at the end of the week, when it's out of early access, the patron only video gets deleted, and the members only video gets converted into a public video that everyone can see. So I have to upload the video 3 times, but I have to, on my channel, I have to upload one version for patrons only because it'll be on the patrons only list. And the other one is the members only. I have to make them different. So the patron only one has a little introduction bit at the start that says patrons only. So I have to render the video 3 times, one for e-models, one for me, and one for the patrons only bit. I have to render each video 3 times for e-models, upload it 3 times, and then I delete one when it becomes after the week. So if I did a live stream, it'd be a 3-hour live stream. I have to wait for the rest of the day for it to be downloadable, because it takes quite a few hours before you can download a video that's from a live stream. It's still processing for hours. Download it. Add something at the start to make it different, or take out the pre-roll or something like that. Do something to it to make it different from the one that's already on YouTube. Re-upload it and make one of them members only, that's accessible on the members only playlist, and one of them patron only, which goes a different way. Now, uploading a 3-hour video is not fun. Trust me on that. It can take 45 minutes to upload a 45-minute video or more if YouTube's on a go slow. Uploading a 3-hour video and also rendering a 3-hour video can take ages. It can take me a good 10 or 15 minutes to render a half-hour video. So again, having to render it, yeah, and you're going to lose quality as well because you're rendering a video that's already rendered. So ideal solution, just do one on the Friday and one on the Saturday, one for patrons, one for members. So let me know what you think anyway. That way, each month, members get a video for themselves, live stream, patrons get one. And they'll be completely not monetized, there'll be no adverts. That's the idea. It's a little treat for members. Because it's not easy for me to do member or patron exclusive content in terms of like build videos. Because if I'm doing a build video that takes 4 weeks, you know, to do 4 weeks of work, that's 4 weeks of work that I'm putting up videos that aren't earning me an income because they're, you know, advert free. If they're patron exclusive or member exclusive. My belly's making some very strange noises. I do apologise. So, and that's a big problem. So, but I don't just want to give patrons and members things that I can film in a day because that's, you know, all the time because that's a bit rubbish. But I need to strike a balance somewhere, so we'll figure it out. Whatever is easiest for you, says Panzerkönig. Well, I need to make sure it's easy for me, but also good for you guys. And I might swap them around month to month. So, you know, 1 month members get the Friday, patrons get the Saturday. And then on the next month, maybe patrons get the Friday because it'll be a weekday. And then some people will be at work and some won't. So I've got to take that into account as well. We'll swap them around. Blah, 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 blah. Quano Man's in. Hi all. You're a bit late there, dude. I've just eaten. I have just had a few slices of sandwich beef. Good. Now eat a load of other stuff. What you want is noodles. You need noodles. Ramen noodles, good noodles, takeaway noodles. Just get on the phone, order some noodles. Do it now. Do it. Do it now. What, are you doing it now? Why aren't you doing it now? How about now? You doing it now? Do it now. Even if you're not hungry, noodles is always the right answer. Trust me on this. Right, so let's see if we can somehow finagle this into looking like it's supposed to be there. I think we can do that. I think we can pull this off, or maybe not. Now I've just spent ages cleaning them. Got to make sure that attaches to there. I think we can get away with this. Yeah. I think we're cooking with gas. Let's get some glue on the go. It's going to be a bit tenuous of a connection to start with. No, it's just off camera there. I do apologise. I'm kind of gluing it to the rivets. But at this point, you'll take any connection point you can find. Not going to be the best connection in the world. It's going to be a connection. It's probably going to be very easily snappable offable. Snappable off, that's not even a real word. I don't see any problem with having all the exhaust in the world on this tank. If you're going to have all the guns in the world, you may as well have all the exhaust in the world as well. Not exactly lined up straight, as in it kind of sticks a bit that way because of the rivets, but yeah, I can live with it. Need to stay in place now is the hard bit. You sit there. I could do super glue on there, but I think we'll be fine with this cement. It will stick eventually. It looks a bit shonky. It's not exactly 100% straight. Can I straighten it? Ooh. Can I just pull it off? There we go. That's straighter. There we are. Leave it on those rivets. Straight there, that's straight. There we are. Much better. Always have extra exhausts. Having exhaust on the... It makes perfect sense to have an exhaust coming out of the... Shut up. It's Warhammer. What do you expect? What do you want? You mean cooking with Promethium? Now we're cooking with Promethium. So we need 2 on this side, without knocking the other one off that we've just glued on. Try and do exactly the same. Which is, where does that thing go? It goes between those 2 rivets. Rivety goodness. Do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime the pump, as it were. A little touch of the glue. There. That may not line up perfectly, but it's not like somebody can sit and look at both sides of the tank at the same time, is it? Really? Really? Also, having to do this with my right hand, even though I'm right-handed, sometimes the right hand is not the best hand. Get in the right place, you spoon. And I'm off camera. Apologies. Would be easier if I was using my other hand. Get some glue in there. Gently, gently. Having to be a bit generous with the old glue here. There will be mud and dirt down here at this point anyway, so I'm not bothered if it gets a little bit rough and ready. It's just basically sitting on top of the rivets. But the crucial bit is making sure that the pipe doesn't just float in midair, because that would make no sense at all. I mean, no sense at all having an exhaust floating in midair. It's just nonsense. Who would do that? I'm being a bit generous with the glue. I need it to go into the little gaps. There we go. Yay! I've custom built my Baneblade now. It's completely 100% custom built. Why not have more exhausts? I do have 2 exhausts left, but I don't really know where I put them, to be perfectly honest. These are kind of straight ones. There's nowhere really to jam. I mean, I could put another one there. That was stupid, wouldn't it? I could fit another one here, but it would kind of kill the symmetry a bit, I think. Exhaust on the turret, that would be silly, wouldn't it? That'd be deliciously silly. You could have an exhaust. No, you could have. Oh, I know what you could do. Matilda style. You could have some exhaust on the back plate here, potentially. Let's just make sure it doesn't foul anything. I was debating whether to paint this with a Matilda style colour scheme, but I don't think I will. I think my 2 Forge World tanks may be done in a more World War One green scheme, or possibly a Matilda colour scheme, but I don't know yet. I could put an exhaust there and an exhaust there. That would be deliciously silly. Delightfully ridiculously stupid, wouldn't it? Maybe. One here. It's just dumbass exhaust everywhere. Of course, why not? Oh, hello. Put one there. Maybe. Nah, I don't know. I like having them sticking out sideways, but it's incredibly dumb. I have to get them kind of in the middle, which is there. Hold up there. A couple of extra exhausts on the back, but does it foul the turret? Where's the... Yeah, it gets fouled by that, so that's a no-go. That's not going to happen. Good job I checked that, didn't you? See, you need to check these things. I could, of course, put one here. But then I've got to keep in mind I want to be able to take this piece, this upper hull off. And that's going to start being a problem. It's glued on there. It's going to cause problems for that going in. So, I'm not going to put it there. Maybe there's some kind of motor going on in the... No, I can't put it on the turret. That would be the stupidest thing ever. Okay, we won't put any more exhausts. I think we're done for exhausts for now. For now. Maybe. Should always have more exhausts there. I do feel robbed that I can't have more exhausts. My first Baneblade, like and subscribe, says Mayhem Modelworks. I don't know why it did that. Panzer Koenig says, breaking news, Phil Spector has shuffled off his Mortal Coil. Random, I know, but all those music fans from Festa show will be now wailing. I don't know who Phil Spector is, but I guess that's sad news. The only noodles I have are volcano chicken noodles, says Raging Modeler. This is correct. There you go then. Sort it out. Volcano chicken noodles it is. Or phone your local takeaway and get some noodle-based stuff. That's the other option. I don't know who Phil Spector is, unfortunately. So, oh, ping me thing. Oh, hang on, let me glue that back on again. Oh, fudge. Wasn't he being? I was thinking about noodles and it distracted me. My weakness, my Achilles heel, talk of noodles will always distract me. I can be bested. There you go, Adam. When I'm pummeling your ass into the ground in Goblin Gaming with my Imperial Guard tank battalion, and you've got your mech boys all being squished under my tank tracks mercilessly, that's not straight, then you could just talk about noodles and that'll distract me completely and put me off my game. There is that option. I'll give you that tactic free of charge. That one's not sitting straight. Why is that one not sitting straight? I'll give you that tactic free of charge. There you go. Of course, you'd have to actually provide noodles to make it even better, more effective. What I'm really doing is trying to get you to bring noodles for me. That would be the correct thing to do, of course. Why is that one not sitting straight and that one is? I know I'm off camera a bit, but I'm just... For some reason, this exhaust... There we go, that's better. It's not straight. One exhaust sits nice and straight, the other one... They're both in the same place, but one isn't sitting straight and one is. That's strange. I'm not fussed about putting lots of glue on here, though, because I'm going to get covered up with mud and dirt. There we go. I think it's straight enough. There you go. I think that'll do. I'd walk 1,000,000 miles for one of your smiles. Yeah, never mind. Old joke. Right, let's not touch those exhausts now for at least a week. Why not put the exhaust at the front of the tank, Fox, says Mayhem. That would be deliciously stupid. You mean like up there somewhere? Up by the side of the... Like snorkels almost. No, you can't see that, can you? I keep forgetting the camera's there. No, I don't think... I think even having the exhaust at the front would even be a bit too stupid, even for Warhammer, I think. I wouldn't get away with that. I would bring noodles since you can no longer have the cakes, yes. Fox, Phil Spector was a jailed music mogul famed for his terrible wig selection. I have no idea. Eat them, eat them! Yes, you need to eat the hot death noodles, though. You need to do this now while we're live. You've got, what, an hour and a half? Put one on the turret. I wonder. But, I mean like that. Like have a turret, like have an exhaust. That would be exceptionally stupid. Unfortunately, you see the gap in that. I can't be bothered filling it in. And there's not anywhere long enough that I could put it sideways. And it's covering up hatches, which wouldn't really work. I don't want to cover up that Aquila on the back. You could have one there at a jaunty angle, but it doesn't go anywhere. No, I think we'll be fine with just the two extra exhausts, I think. How many points is the noodle strat? Noodle strat. Can they go on the sponsons? No, I don't think so. There's not really any. Again, it wouldn't. I know it sounds stupid to say it wouldn't make any sense, but I still have the gap to fill there, or you'd have a tube hanging up. No, we'll be fine. We'll just leave two. Put an exhaust on the turret, says Raging Modeler, almost as if 9,000 ostriches didn't just say that, and then he retracts it. Speedy Correct says, what's the correct quantity of noodles? All. End of the answer, basically. All the noodles is correct. All the available noodles is always the correct answer. Right, bit of track. I don't unfortunately have any spare track other than this one piece. I love the way you have a tank the size of a building. It's got like hundreds of meters of track, and you get one piece of track spare. Yeah, I get the feeling if something was, if an explosion was powerful enough to damage the track of a Baneblade, I think it would probably damage more than one individual link. I think one single link of track may not be sufficient. I thought you got more spare track than this, but you clearly don't, so never mind. Now this isn't going to go onto the track itself, so I've got to be a bit more fastidious about cleaning this. I wasn't too bothered about the track that's actually on the wheels because it's going to get covered in dirt and stuff. But this is unused track, you see, so I've got to get rid of all the mold lines now. Oh well, never mind. Mold lines, mold. I don't think I'll be getting my bits out this week. I think I might not have enough time to get my bits out. I don't think we'll be finishing this week. I thought I'd be like, oh, I'll just glue a few bits on, there we go, and I'll start the next thing. No. Clearly not. You misunderestimate, Fox. The amount of work required, clearly. You are a fool. Khajiit would never underestimate the amount of work required. File in there to get rid of that little bit of mold linings. What's that? 600 grit, that'll do. Quickly run this round. Yeah, see, it's big tank, one single track, tread or link. You're not that handy. Keep in mind, that's probably the size. I mean, how big is this? How big is a dude? Where's my dude? That's how big a piece of track is. It's from your head to your knees is one single link of track. If you think of the explosion that's going to damage a piece of track on a Baneblade, it's going to take more than one piece out. Yeah, you kind of need a lot more than one single. Never mind. Imperial Guard, disposable cannon fodder, that's how it works. There you go. They only give you a piece of track as a gesture, I think. More of a gesture than an actual practical thing. Right. That's that. Brush. And let's off. I'm thinking for the spare track, we are looking at, are those exhausts still on? Yes. Spare track, I think we are looking at, I think traditionally track tends to go on things like the glasses plate and stuff, doesn't it? Like just exactly where that spare, oh, yeah. Can't put it there. Put it let's go somewhere. I know, I'm just, my stomach is making the strangest of noises. It's not even rumbling like it's hungry. It's just kind of going brrr. Like, I don't know, plate tectonics going on in there or something. Strange going on in my belly. I think, as we're having sponsors on these two, I think a piece of spare track could go there. Hang on, clear my throat again. There we go, throat cleared now. It could go, it wouldn't necessarily obscure a hatch because that would be a stupid idea. It could go here. It could be strapped onto that hatch, but imagine trying to open a hatch with a massive chunk of track on top of it. I remember having to try and open my Land Rover bonnet with a spare wheel on it. Yeah, you had to take the wheel off to open the bonnet. That was the downside of having a spare wheel on your bonnet. I think it would go. I think it would go. I don't know. Again, we've got this bit here. Is it going to be in the way? Let's find out. Catcher number 2, please. Put that there. This is the kind of thing that would actually fit on the turret, to be honest. Get in! Get out the holes! Get the oh. For some reason, it's an absolute nightmare to get this turret to fit it. Yeah, that can't go on there. Basically, nothing can go here or anywhere where that turret passes across. So, I think I've got a wheel on the turret. Wheel on the turret goes round and round. Was it's broken in the wrong place? Stomach, shut up. Honestly, okay, well, it's not like you didn't get fed last night. You had all the food last night. I think we can put the piece of track. I think it should go on the other side to the wheel. I think it should go there. Now. It's not like it's just going to magically attach itself. It needs a strap. So, let me get myself, not that one. Let me get myself the very thin plastic card. Not the very thin plastic card, but the thin plastic card. That one will do. Thin plastic card. Didn't you say last week you should have it finished by the end of the strip? Yeah, shut up. Says Lee. Oh. Moving on. Yes, this may be taking longer than I'll put an exhaust on the cannon. Oh yeah, like a muzzle brake vent or something. Right, so we need to make a strap or two for this, and I'm just thinking a nice simple strap of some sort. I'm not going to get into building complicated buckle things, but I'll do a little simple thing as a buckle or some sort of thing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, let's get me ruler. Ruler. Now, whether it's supposed to be a metal thing, I don't know. Like I did on the wheel, where I made that kind of like restraining thong. Don't really know how you do it for a piece of track. So I think what we'll do is it will make more sense if it went like this. That way around, because then it can lock itself into place. Maybe. Yeah, that makes sense. I think. I mean, I try not to think. Let's be perfectly honest. No, I can't. I'm trying to think logically now. Like that one, you just make it and it goes around the wheel, no problem. But this one, it needs to be wider than the track, because the track's not that wide. So it's not that easy doing it this way. Because you've got these bits on the back that touch the... Having second thoughts about this now. Not that easy. Das ist nicht that easy geworden. As you can see around the thing with the wheel is, with the wheel, you can't see around the back of the wheel, so it doesn't matter, there's nothing there. With this piece of track, you can see around the back. So if there's just a strap that just stops halfway around the back, it looks a bit rubbish. If I do it that way, though, then you can't really see underneath. You might get away with it more that way, because it's kind of hidden underneath. I know what I can do. I know what I can do. Big boy cutter times. Clip. Clip. Big boy snips, they are. Big grown-up snips now. Don't need to clean them up because you're not going to see them. We're going to fudge it just a little bit. That's flat-ish. Flatter-ish. So off. Make sure it doesn't fit better somewhere else. I like it there, on that piece opposite the wheel. We'll do that there. I hope you can see all this, by the way. That can sit there. We'll make some straps. Excuse me, I do apologise. Struggling today. Struggly times. To make a strap. So, I need two. A very thin strap, first of all. We'll get a nice straight edge. Trash, we'll throw that away. Nice, reasonably straight edge. We'll start from here. Be more than enough. Apologies if my head isn't shot. There. Cut all the length of that. Very gently, not putting any pressure on. I don't want to bend it too much. Also didn't want to snap it there, but there you go. What can you do? Okay. Close enough. More than enough to work on with that. Hope you can see this. So there's the plastic card. We'll put that there for the moment. I might need more. Right, so the plan is to make some chisel up, basically. Just make it up full cloth. Full cloth! Do like we did with the wheel, but make like a bracket that sits in place. So what I'm going to do is risk destroying this piece of plastic completely. Make those track brackets L-shaped at the bottom, link to the top. I was thinking that, like that kind of shapes, they sit there, but then the risk is it'd push up and out, so I need to make it, I'm going to do it like the wheel, so you've got the bracket going across there and then like a little strip coming up, so it's a bit more held in place. I know I'm applying logical thinking to Warhammer nonsense, which is completely stupid, I know, but what are you going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to use some super glues. I know, super glue is a terrible idea. Cocking tail stick and Gefahren. We have some kicker, which smells fantastic. It's one of the nicest smells in the world. It smells like electronic components. We'll keep that. We'll get the tweezers ready, just in case. Lid back on the cocktail sticks, because if they all fall out, it gets really annoying. Need some tissue. I need to see if my glue is flowing. Just about. I need to make the hole bigger, but it's really hard to actually do that. Handy tip, always clean your nozzle. You don't get glue building up. There's no pin in that lid, which is a bit of a pain. Come on, industrial grade, ever build, wherever you are. Sort your chisel out. What I'm going to do first is take my first strip, which is mostly the right width. Trim that bit off there. It starts to get a bit wider, but we don't need that much. Okay, so we want this to sit like this and then go around the back. I hope you can see that. I know the camera's not exactly in the right place. We want this to sit like that and then fold around the back. So the first thing we need to do is get a touch of super glue here. Little enough just to give it some purchase. Put it there, maybe. Oops. Make sure it's straight. That'll do for now. A second. Push it ever so gently. I don't want to get a fingerprint on it. Tiniest touch of my fingernail. I can get some more super glue under there. Very gently. Without making a mess. Little tiny touch. Lock it down. There. Tiny touch of kicker. Which is very messy. And that just sets the glue there. Now it's not 100% set. It's got a bit of a bow to it, a bit of a curve to it. I don't know if you'll see, but it's a bit like that. But that's fine. I like that. It makes it look like not part of the piece of the track. Not part of the plastic track piece, if you know what I mean. Makes it look like something separate. Now, the reason I want to super glue and not normal Tamiya extra thin is because I need to now bend this round the back. If I'd done this with extra thin, every time I bent this, it would ping off at that end. And it would also weaken and soften the plastic and make it go smushy. I don't want that. I want to be able to do this. Like that. I need to be able to do that dead quickly. Same on this end. Without it pinging up. Because what I can do now is take some of that. Put it on the side of the track and just pull that down. Push it down. Hope it stays in place for a second. Give it a quick bip of the kicker. Oh dear. You're running out of... I've got loads of kicker left. It's just not spraying it. There we go. A kicker always makes it look like it's a really messy job, but it's not. It's just, it evaporates off and goes away. But I do love the smell of zip kicker. Great smell. The mark of a man. Pull that down, squish it on. The kicker. Don't like using CA glue if I can avoid it. But for this kind of thing, it's perfect. It's not necessarily structural, so it's not going to have to support massive amounts of weight. And the reason I'm blowing on it is not to set anything, it's purely to make the zip kicker flash off a bit faster. Yeah. All I do now is just wrap this around the back. Now I can just do this with normal cement because I'm going to use the fast setting cement, but this doesn't really matter. You're not going to see this. It's just to get around the back and hidden. Yeah, find that. And that's clear is. This is where I suddenly find that, oh, it snapped. Never mind. That's why I'm not that keen on using that fast setting cement sometimes, because it can be quite aggressive. I've got this bit, that's fine. Back for this is where you find out that if you combine fast setting Tamiya and super glue, you get some kind of like probably toxic chemical that comes out. So that you're not going to see anyway, so we'll take that off. On camera, almost. Get that bit off. Yeah, that fast setting cement, you could use that, but it does tend to make, as you've just seen there, plastic card can snap and rip quite easily. You're not going to see that, so I don't really mind. So that's that bit. Now, what we can do is plan of attack. We want it, oops, don't drop it in the super glue, you spoon, that way around. So, nice and simple. Should have enough here, I think, to do this. I can do this. I can do this. But I'm going to be safe. I've got this strip here, but I need to make sure I've got enough to go around the back and then do this. So I'm going to actually cut some more plastic card off. About the same, not so much if it's the same thickness or not, actually. Cut that there. On camera, yes. Do that there, and we'll make it about that thick. The reason I'm not putting any pressure on when I'm doing this, if you push down really, do it again, must be a cut in the plastic there. If you apply a lot of pressure on this kind of stuff, on plastic card, if you go too heavy, it can actually bend it. Then you end up with a not straight strip. That should be all right. I don't know, it seems a bit, how is it compared to that? Strip out. You know what, let's just abandon that because that's clearly a weird edge. Let's go from a different side. Avoid that situation. I'll cut that there, nice straight edge. Yes, if you just go use the weight of the blade and just let the blade do the work, and then you minimize how much you're actually bending the plastic card then. So if I trim that there, be a bit thicker than the one on the top, but that's fine. Weight of the blade, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know why it goes a bit funky at the bottom there. That should be enough anyway, never mind. Right, so that should work nicely. That's spare bits of plastic cut. We'll put them over there. Go in the bin. What we want to do is very similar to what we've just done. We'll cut that down the middle, nicked or roughly down the middle. This is the easy bit now, hopefully. Bit of CA glue, we'll put it right there. Tiny touch of CA on there, just the tiniest amount. Pop that in, spood. Yeah, that's on. Doesn't matter if it's not quite straight because it's on the side of a tank, so you could assume perhaps it's been a bit battered and bent in its time. Got a bit out of shape. And again, we'll put a tiny amount of CA glue here. Hope you can see all this. I'm more conscious about what I'm doing than whether you can see it or not. Try and line this up with the other one a bit. It looks about level. Quite tricky to do to push down on a bit of bendy plastic. Yes, if it's not quite straight, that's fine. Bit of zip. Say bit, when you do the zip kicker, it's like 1,000,000 gallons comes out and you've got no option. Make those trap brackets after we've done that. One of the few German words I know is the one for exhaust pipe, and it's unforgettable. It's Auspuff. Yes, puff out. Yeah, I like that. Auspuff. I've abandoned all Warhammer modelling temporarily, says Timothy Calarco. Why? Why? It's awesome fun. Or have you found something more exciting? Do tell. If it's advice you need, everybody in chat and myself would be more than happy to give you all the advice in the world. I've recently found the German word for red card, as in football soccer, is literally translated means ass card. Okay. Until I get my Stormcast Eternals from female upgrade heads from Forgewood. Oh, okay. Panic over. He's temporarily suspended his Warhammer modelling until he gets his female upgrade heads from Forgewood. Okay. Because the heads that came in the box look like freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're supposed to. they're like they're the Adeptus Sororitas. They're like the kind of ladies that would break you in half with their little finger. So they are supposed to look a bit meaty. They're not supposed to be particularly feminine. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Right, so now we've got that bit on, we can bend this round a bit. Challenge here is there's not a lot of plastic to work with. But we'll do what we can. There's the glue, there it is. We shall do what we can. The pain with CA glue is, of course, even if you're using the thick, you use the thick stuff now because it's faster to work. But the pain is it leaves a splob of glue. It's not perfect. Just with the tweezers. And it's not like you can apply a tiny amount of CA glue very easily because it's not that easy to do that. Very easy to add a tiny amount of CA glue, but you get a tiny amount of CA glue. It's not that easy to control. It's a very thick, viscous liquid. You want the thick stuff here because the thin stuff dries very, very quickly and you wouldn't have a chance to adjust anything. I mean, you get very little chance to do any adjustments with CA glue, which is another reason I don't like it that much. But you get some adjusting potential. Some slight justifications potential. Very easy to put too much down and make a mess. And it does seem to settle a little bit faster if you get carbon dioxide on it. A little bit of a blow on it, a bit of an exhale. Help you. Bit of kicker. Yeah, give that a second. So you can see where we're going with this. Making a little brace or a cradle for the track. And I got to say, this is the kind of thing, I'm not a builder. I don't like scratch building. I don't like the actual act of building. It bores me. But this kind of thing, I do kind of find interesting. It's fun because it's playtime and it always seems to work quite nicely, which is rather pleasant. I can snip these back a little bit. They don't need to be that long. So, snip, snip. Okay, I just need to glue them back in place now and out of the way. And we are done with those. Do that. Splub glue on the inside of them. This bit you're not going to see anyway. Really matter too much. Just to lock it in place. Yep, the back of that one. just to hide it away. There we go. It looked messy on that side, but when you see it from this side, it's fine. So, almost done. Wow. I just sprayed kicker on it, but managed to miss my entire hand and the piece of plastic and sprayed everything else behind me. Yay. There we go, that's that bit. I shall, for security reasons, I shall wipe the CA glue off here, because if I don't, you know what's going to happen. I might need more CA glue going forward, but we'll put it there for now. And then what we need next is one of my favourite things, rivets. I want the 1mm. Rivet time. Nice and simple for these. Just a couple. Where's my lid for the kicker? There it is. That explains my ex, says Panzerkönig. Yes. Yeah, they're not supposed to be delicate feminine types, the Adeptus sororitas. They're basically like... Because you don't get female space marines. So they're not augmented in any way. But they are... Yeah, they would snap you in half with a look. You know that kind of look you get from the girlfriend or the wife or the missus, whatever. You know when you say something and you get that look. Imagine that look, but it actually snaps your spine in half and all your spleens come out. That's the Adeptus sororitas. They're not meant to be delicate farmhands. They're proper, like... Faith can move mountains. She's a big girl. Put it that way. We'll very quickly get some riveting action going on. Goggles on. I probably see the top of my head now. But this is one of my favourite things. And I have to thank Kenneth every time, because it's because of Kenneth that I have these rivets. I do have more rivets on the way. I think Wendy it is making me some. Rivet there. And this is just a bit of... I like to think that it makes sense to have these things riveted together. Perfect. So rather than just having two strips of plastic card stuck on as if it's been welded or something, magically attached, and rather than just having a piece of track magically attached via, you know, attaching magic, what you've actually got now is a spare piece of track in a cradle, in a little sort of sling on the side of the turret, which I shall find over here, which sits there and actually looks like it belongs there. Well, it doesn't quite fit very well, but, you know, you get the idea. Kind of sits there like that. All I need to do is glue that in place. And to glue it in place, I'm going to use the fat cement. Because, again, it's viscous, the fat Tamiya cement. And put a blob on the back. And just... with no concerns or qualms, just slap it on. Hopefully, on camera, hopefully, place, might not. There's no glue, any contact point there at all. Fantastic. What's the contact point? It's there. Let's get some glue on the actual contact point then, shall we? Using the fat cement, again, just because it's viscous and it's thick and stodgy. Fat Tamiya cement, the regular cement, just means it'll hold its weight a little bit. While I get the, I can put it on there and it'll stick lightly. If I manage to get any of the glue anywhere that's relevant, it'll stay in place, and then I can very quickly get some extra thin in there down the back now. Now you can sort of see around the back, but it's not exactly perfect. What I'll do is I'll move that up a bit so you can't see around the back. Some extra thin on there on the go. There you go. You see, it's hidden. So the bit where the strap stops suddenly, because I didn't put that strap around there, it's hidden behind the piece of track, never to be seen again. And we have a spare piece of track attached. Take a few seconds to stick down. There you go. Straight. Other thing to keep in mind, of course, is that I'm not putting it straight to that edge there, because that edge is actually angled. The actual turret itself sits like... So I need to make sure it's... I get this turret to go in. There we go. I need to make sure it's straight to the horizontal, not straight to the turret, because the horizontal's there, but the turret's like that, so looks about right. Why is it so hard to get this turret? There we go, in and out. I don't understand. That's on there. That's starting to stick. It's a bit of a tenuous grip because there's not a lot of contact surface. I need to really kind of push it down, squish it in. A bit handy with the glue. I can do that. It doesn't matter. You can get handy with the glue where you can't see it. Of course, once it's all painted up. Right now I can see where the white plastic card strip stops, but that's because it's a white plastic card strip on a dark grey plastic thing. Once that's painted up and you've got shades and stuff on it, you won't see any of that. I shall leave that alone for a minute, stop fussing with it, because it's asking for trouble if I don't. Yeah. So there you go, that's quite cool, quite proud of that. Makes sense to have it rather than just floating in midair magically. I'm going to stop fussing with it, he says, fussing with it. Let's just hold it there for a second, I think. I need to glue the track to the side, not just the plastic card. There we are. I've also got to make sure I don't knock my rivets off. Knock my rivets off! There we go. I don't think blowing on Tammy extra thin actually does anything, but it makes me feel like I'm helping. Right, I'll put that there. Look at chat. I'm going to have to get me some rivets for when I do looted tanks and conversions, says Raging Modeler. Yeah, the thing about this Baneblade is it's covered in the Imperial stuff. It's covered in rivets. And I kind of realised each of these rivets is probably about the size of a football, if it was real. Yeah. I don't know if you can buy rivets, but you need... Kenneth used a rivet making tool. It's like a punch. You make a little thing, it punches it out of plastic cards, so... But there is a product called RP Tools. RP Tools do a rivet punch that can do different. You get different size bits. You just tap it and it pushes through the plastic card and cuts a little circle out. That's all these are, little circles of plastic card. I'm no expert, but what's this? Lee Stevenson, what are we talking about? I'm no expert, but it seems to be almost a role-playing game in the 40k universe. Any of you guys, a basic summary of what Blackstone Fortress is? Yeah, Blackstone Fortress, it's a bit like a role-playing game. It's, instead of having tabletop warway, it's more like a kind of Dungeons and Dragons type thing, or sort of, where you're in a setting like a dungeon, and you've got to move along, and you've got to... It's basically like a bunch of you working your way through this dungeon. And each room you go in and there's enemies to fight, so it's kind of Warhammer fighting gameplay, but like you're in a dungeon. So it's a cross between like tabletop strategic campaign fighting, like normal Warhammer 40k, and D&D, sort of. But there's not a lot of the role playing. You've not got a character. You have got character sheets and stats, but you're not making up your characters and stuff like that. It's kind of like a halfway between D&D, proper RP role-playing, and 40k. It's quite good. They're like quite short games. You get action cards and stuff, and there's a dungeon master. There's a person that acts as the dungeon master, so it's worth checking it out. If you go to the Warhammer TV Twitch channel, if it's still there, a couple of years ago they did have a few games of, I think, Blackstone Fortress and some of the other ones. A few of them are playing it, and it looks quite good. It's like a very simple D&D, basically, using Warhammer stuff. If you're not into like having a 6 foot by 4 foot table and all your troops and stuff, but you're more of like D&D kind of angled. D&D players will probably find it a bit simple. It looks quite good. And you get like little cards for the terrain. For the map, you don't have a table, you just get a little card and you build it. Yeah, quite good. Just working on some minis from it and wondered what it is, says Phil East. Yeah, it sounds quite good. Yeah, I'd be quite tempted for it. It's more like a quick sit down with a couple of your mates and have a quick go of it for a few hours, rather than a massive campaign on a proper 6x4 table. All jolly good stuff. It's a bit more fast paced and a bit simpler. It's not, you play a character, so like if there's 4 of you, there's 4 dudes, and you've got to go into a room, all the enemies appear, but you've got to build and paint all the minis, of course. Right, so we made that cradle for Tetrak, even not Tetranks. I need to go for a great big wee, so I'll do that. When we come back, we'll figure out what we're going to do for the next bit. I don't know, maybe we should do some of those aerials with these antennae. And that would involve the magnets. Oh. Let me go for a great big wee. I'll be back in a minute, and we'll see what we can come up with. Back in a minute. Oh, I'm returned. Yes, hello, welcome, welcome. I have to thank Chris over at Gross Models for sorting me out with some knowledge about audio settings that make doing that much easier. Not having a way, I mean setting up the audio for transferring from scene to scene. Where are we? The minis were pretty cheap and they are really nice sculpts. The Cultists of the Abyss. Yeah, it's like a little D&D type thing. More like a card-based D&D, but with minis. It seems quite like good fun. Quite simple. Now, I was debating whether to do some magnetations on these aerials, because I'm thinking we've got two aerials on here that if I'd been clever I would have magnetized on, but like because I'm a complete spong, I glued these on, which means life is now going to be a living nightmare transporting this, because I've got to put it in so arse. I thought about it, but I've got two more aerials and I could put an aerial somewhere. I'd give it even more aerials, have all the aerials in the world, but have them easily removable. Just don't know where. You have sponsons here, remember. Got to keep in mind I'm going to have a sponsons in places. Last thing I want to do is stick something on and then realise it's getting in the way of the sponson. Yeah, that would be a bit sucky, wouldn't it? So, I think they're obviously going to be at the back somewhere. Properly. They could go anywhere. They could go anywhere. But I don't know where they could go. I can't put them on the side there because that ladder's on the other side and that will get in the way. I can't put them there. I could put one there, but like I said, I've got nowhere to put one on this side because of that. Could go there. Oh, they could go on the side of the barrels. That would be a potential option. Ooh, that would be an option. Extra aerial times. Now, it might not work. I might be actually, urinating into the oncoming gusts here, but it'd be fun if I could magnetize these and have them easily removable for transport. That would they are just about exactly the right tallness. They seem to have the correct tallitude. Here's my plan. Here's my plan. Let's have a think about this. This might not work. Might not. Let me find my magnets. Where's my magnets? Hang on, magnet time. Welcome to Magnets with Fox. It's time for some science. For these we are using neodymium, I think they are, magnetings. I have some tiny, no, they're not big. I've got even smaller ones somewhere. Where are they? There are also very small magnets. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I had some really microscopical ones, like in the bottom of that guy. Like these tiny. Which ones? They're not them. They're not them. No, where are they? The ones I used on this guy. Where have they gone? Oh dear Lord, Fox, you really have no idea, do you? What you're doing? I've got a whole bag of magnets somewhere that I can't find now. Oh, there they are. The size of them, they're tiny. So I'll put these away because we don't need those now. There you go. You can go back in the drawer. Now, magnet safety, especially rare earth and neodymium magnets. Do not let children near them. Do not swallow them. You can die from swallowing magnets. Maybe not these because they're not that powerful, but, well, actually probably these. You swallow them 2 magnets, and they get on either side of a fold of your gut and snick together, you're cutting off that fold of the gut. It can die from necrosis because it's got no blood supply, and then get infected, and you can die from sepsis. So do not ever swallow magnets. Do not let children near magnets. Do not get 2 really powerful magnets like that on your finger because it can. Yeah, just be careful with magnets. These are probably not that powerful, but just careful. Fox, you can mount them in the whole front. They're like early warning systems for missiles. Ooh. I mean, like those, eh? Like on the side, on the front, like that. No, it would kill my lines. It'd kill the sleek lines. My sleek Warhammer. Yeah, like it's got lots of sleek lines. It's not that aerodynamic. But I like it being on the back of the fuel tanks. It made me think, if I put them on the front, it'd look like some kind of 1970s British police car where they had really like massive radio aerials everywhere. I've got to think how I would do this. How am I going to do this? I think the easiest way is to glue a magnet into here. There's a little recess in the aerial socket there. Glue a magnet into there. Let it set. Put a magnet on top, into place, to the tiniest amount of glue on that magnet, place it where I want it, pull it off, and the glue on the magnet that will have stuck it on there will be in the right place. If I do 2 of them, they'll both be in the right place. I'll take that off because it's going to come off, isn't it? So glue both 2 magnets in there, let them set, apply 2 more magnets to those magnets, get a tiny amount of glue on them, and just place it there. They'll glue into place. When it's dried, pop it off, and I've got magnets there and magnets there all lined up there. Because I could just glue magnets on there, but it doesn't matter if the magnets stick out here because when it's being used, you'll be hidden away. But I'm going to need to fill this little hole in a little bit because it's too deep for the magnets. I don't want to waste magnets. Maybe it's not too deep. I don't know actually. 1 magnet there, 1 magnet on the hull. Actually, I might just get away with it. Okay. Right, so I've not cleaned this up yet, but we'll clean it up in a minute. I'm going to do the test first. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and it's fine. I've only wasted a couple of magnets. I bunged up my end now. Look, I've got that. Oh, I need my pin. Where's me recovery pin? Handy tip, always have a pin around. Tissue, because of the obvious reasons. This is where it goes wrong now when I get glue all over my hands. Because it splooges out. Right, there we go. Try and make a bigger hole. I need to clean that up somehow. It's just glue that's crusted up over the top. Clean off the pin. Put the pin somewhere safe. I don't know. There. Right, so. Glue. Come on, out you come. I need to work on that a bit. Oh, that was hard. Downside with super glue, it glues itself up and then you're knackered then. So we've got a thing here. We shall get our cocktail stick again. This might not work. It might be a completely stupid idea, but it's, you think of it logically, it's always worth a try. If I get a little bit of glue on that. Put it there. It doesn't matter what it looks like in here. Don't care at all what it looks like inside. Not on that. I've got to somehow get it. I need some plastic tweezers, really, don't I? That was a dumb idea. It was a dumb idea, Fox, you idiot. This can just be dumped inside. Doesn't matter where this goes, really, as long as it's in. Glued in place. I'll do another one on the bottom. Yeah, it doesn't matter about the polarity right now. I'm not really fussed. We'll get another one. If I can find that. There they are. I'll just try this out. At the worst, I've wasted a couple of magnets. That's fine. It just pinged onto the other one. God damn it. Yeah, that was a bad idea, wasn't it? Gosh darn it. Come on, off you come. We'll get that off in a minute then, shall we? Yeah, it pinged across onto the other one. Let me just... Right, push plonking that down there. Plonking my entire stick of magnets. The one at the bottom sticks, which it doesn't. Oh. Away in Baljadid. Right, let's put some more glue in there. Big Dodd O glue. We should try that again. I've only got glue on the first magnet, so the other magnets doesn't really matter. They'll just come off. Yeah. That's not cooperating, is it? Very well at all. Right. Come on now. Not being a spoon. Take off a couple of the magnets and throw them away, because I'll be covered in schmuck now anyway. Put a magnet in there. The weird thing, sometimes super glue sticks instantly. Sometimes it just takes forever to stick. Oh, that's just not sticking at all. This is most frustrating. I want 2 magnets, otherwise it's going to be difficult. No, I'm not on camera right now, I do apologise. I just need to hold it in a way that I can keep it held in place. But I don't want it to ping off towards the other magnet. This is the difficulty using 2 magnets next to each other. They want to get together. Right, leave that for a minute. Pull them other magnets off. And then what I can do is, once I know this works, I can put some thin CA glue in there and let's get some kicker on it. Rather than sit there for a minute waiting, let's just... By kicker on the glue, I mean kicker on my trouser leg, like I've just done there. So there's them. This is grenades then. There we go. Finally. Right, perfect, but which will do for the moment. Sticking myself to myself now. Give that a minute. Right, that's them on. My plan is then, this is going to go completely wrong, isn't it? It's just not going to work at all, is it? Because that one magnet at the back isn't even straight. I'm going off the idea of this now, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. Like a tiny walkie-talkie, isn't it? This might not work. I think they're glued in now nicely. So let's get a couple of extra magnets on the end. One there and one there. That'll sit like that. The idea is that I tiny touch of glue on the end and I just simply touch it to that. Now it does stick out a little bit. It's like a little tiny gap between the two. but it's not the end of the world, and they will get painted over anyway, and it just adds a little bit of interest to it. I think we might get away with it. Oh, will we? Oh, I don't know, maybe not. I mean, I could drill a little hole and put the magnet inside, but I don't know if I can be bothered doing that. You know what, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to think on that. I don't know, I'm not 100% happy with that. What I'll basically do is put a touch of glue on each magnet, stick it on, give it a minute, and then pull it off, and hopefully the magnets inside here will stay here, and the magnets on these two magnets on the outside will stay where they are, and then they'll always line up then. I think. Fox super glue bonds in an instant, but never when you want it to. Exactly. Look at the polarity, says Timothy. Got to go for some food. Thanks, Fox, and later all. Have a good one, says Phil East. Thank you. And I see that chat fell over, so that means my broadband. Hopefully the stream is still working. Do let me know if the stream is still live. Please, Lord, let it be live. I'll just put myself back onto live chat. Chat falling over is sometimes a sign of my broadband bandwidth dropping a bit. That can always be a threat to the... Right, I can't even... Yeah, that can be a threat to stream. So do let me know in chat if we're still live and running. I don't know otherwise, you see, so please let me know. The risk is that I put a touch of glue on here and I somehow get glue between the two magnets. I've just glued this to the side of the tank and it's permanent. I'm like, oh, that's loose, that's loose. I don't know about having the little magnets sticking up. It looks all right, I suppose. It's just being able to get it in there and stuck on. Let's give it a try. Should we just do it? If it doesn't really work, then I grab the wang end of the cocktail stick. Well done. If it doesn't really work, then I just stick to the one. What's the worst that can happen? Yeah, you pick up the wrong aerial for a start. That'd be the worst. Tiny touch of glue. Should totally not stick now. Oh, no. Yeah. Ooh. I'm going to leave it for a minute. I'm going to hit it with some kicker. By hit it with some kicker, I mean completely miss and hit everything else with the kicker, but not the actual thing I've just glued. You know, little spray bottles can be a right pain in the bum. Give that a minute just to do its thing. Have a swig of coffee. The stream is still good. Oh, thank you. Still seeing you. Yes, you're still live unless it's an alternative universe. This is the alternative universe. I hate to tell you, but this is always alt. I've got a beard. Clearly, it's the alternative universe. Right. Let's risk it for a biscuit, shall we? Ready? Oh, one of them stuck and one didn't. Flange. Okay, well that makes things a little easier. So I can put glue on the other one. I had a big dot of glue on that one as well. In patrol. That one can go on there. Hold it in place. The other one hopefully sticks. Give it a minute. I will reinforce them with the thin CA glue and the little needle applicator shortly. I won't do it right now though. You've never seen me do magnets before, have you? I'm not very good at it, as you found out. You give it a zip of the kicker or a kick of the zipper. I don't know. There we go. I can feel a burp coming on as well. The thing to remember always when you're doing this kind of thing is that, yes, two magnets. Yo, beauty, look at that. Ready? Watch. Oh, it's how we... I know what I'm doing. Yes, I'm a genius. I don't really. Yes, the thing you have to remember is when you work on a mod, especially doing stuff like this, keep in mind, especially with magnets because you have to use super glue, and super glue looks like garbage. Thing to keep in mind is when you're doing stuff like this, or any kind of building, I will guarantee you that it's going to look terrible. It will look horrible. There'll be lumps and bumps. It'll look like absolute garbage. There'll be lots of shiny bits where the glue is. It'll look like absolute butts. But it's very, very important that you do not lose hope and get discouraged. Like, it looks terrible with this kicker on it and you've got the glue sticking out, and it's not pleasant. The thing to keep in mind is no matter what you're doing, any kind of building like this, it will always look terrible until you get that coat of primer on. Once you get the primer on, everything just looks great. So don't get too wound up about, you know, when you're gluing things together. As long as you're careful with your glue and you're not making big splodges and fingerprints and stuff, just be careful with it. You should be fine. Just go easy on magnet. Take your time. You should be absolutely fine. Yes, the easier way to do magnets like this is to take a small number. Kind of remembered after I started. I always forget how to do magnets until I start doing magnets. Get your touch of super glue. That. And get a small number of them so you've got something to hold on to. And just plonk them down. Like, I was using the big long stick of magnets and it was just falling over. This way, if I leave that, get some kicker on it. I need some more zip kicker, me. Wait a second. I shall have 2 magnets in there, and then we'll do exactly the same again. So it will be that you can see a little tiny bit. When I put this on again, if I stick that back on there, when I put these on, it will be that you can see a little tiny bit of a gap around the edge. I don't know if you can see it there. There's a little tiny gap, and you can see the magnets in there. But once it's painted up, it'll just look like a mechanical component or a bit of piping or something. They'll probably get paint on them anyway. It'll be fine. It'll look absolutely fine. I'm really pleased with that. Let's see if this one is good to go. Fantastic. Give it a blow just to dry it off. The kicker, I mean. One of the magnets didn't stick. Well, this being the mirror universe, I'm going to need your agonizer. Oh, yeah. Only if I get to see Kira in a catsuit. Oh. Right, so we'll do the same again now. It's time for magnety times. To make sure the polarity is always right, do that. It's one of these things, it's the 2 things that often make me stop and overthink things is, if you've got like magnet here and a magnet there, how do you make sure they're in the right place lined up? Well, you do it this way and then pull it apart. It's when people that you add things and you built something with 2 like sticky out rods and you want to drill 2 holes. How do you make sure it all fits? The logic there is you put a bit of touch of paint on the end and put it in place. Same kind of thing. There's always a logical way to figure these things out. It's just not always easy. Logical doesn't necessarily mean easy. Now see, this one I've got a problem because I'm going to do it this way around and I'm not as comfortable facing that way around. This may not be lined up straight, but we'll give it a go. It's going to be off camera, so I do apologise. I have a big dot of glue that big. Glue that. Might get one of these again and have to do the other one in a minute. But it is the challenge with super glue. It's not like you can put it on and then wiggle it around and adjust it. It's once it's on, it's on. You might be a bit knackered at that point. If you've not got it lined up properly, good luck with that. Not quite straight. Not very well at all. That's really sticking. There's not enough glue on there, I don't think. But I can see where it's stuck, so let's get some glue on the model itself. I don't normally recommend this, but you risk getting glue in between the magnets, which really makes things a bit more difficult. No, you can't see this, so I apologise. And there we go. Stickety stick, pushety push. Move of the hand, spray of the stuff. miss of the thing, spray it everywhere else. Give that a minute. It's almost straight. God damn it. Get it to sit and think. That went better than I thought. It just means I can use them aerials now, but when I want to transport it, you've got to, if you're going to play tabletop, if you're going to play Warhammer, you've got to keep in mind moving the things around. You can't just stick them in a box. You know, if you spend 100 hours painting a model and then you put it in a cardboard box, take it to a game and it's all smashed up, it's going to be knackered. So you want to really, look at that. You want to really plan how you're going to transport things. And if I can make this as streamlined as possible, so you know, this will be like one half of a box. I can take the turret off and put that in the other half and things like that. I think logically like that, you kind of get away with it. Right, let's see if we can get this thing off. Oh, hello, matron. Yes, huge success. Both magnets. So what we do now is we risk making a terrible mess. Very terrible mess. We have to bring out the thin CA glue, which means we're going to have to fiddle around with the bottle because I'm sure it's going to seal itself up. Now they may stay on there, but they're probably not super glued on, if you pardon the pun, super glue and all that. So what I'll do is I'll get myself my thin CA, which is here, I think. That's thick CA, it's not what this one. Now this one does tend to seal itself up, and if it has, I won't be able to get any out. It'll be a lost cause. Oh, that's fine. So now this is where it can get messy, because if this pops off, it makes big mess time. This is where I will stick myself to myself, because this stuff just explodes like a volcano. So, yeah, good luck with that. Lens is down so I can see what I'm doing. Sure, it's probably not going to. This is crusted over so much that I can't even get these things on the end now. Oh, not very easily anyway. It's going to come out. No, it's sealed up. This is where I get messy now. In time. The camera wobble probably, so I do apologise. Also probably sounds terrible on the microphone. Go on, lad. Go on, lad. Get in there. Go on. Have it. Where's my pliers? I don't know what that was, but something fell down the back. Plier time. There we go. Straight in. No problem. There she is. There she is. Not so injured as we were led to believe. Right. Go on there. Without squeezing the bottle. You have to be really careful not to squeeze the bottles of thin CA glue, because the slightest squeeze and it will just fly out like nobody's business. It really is like a volcano. What I want to do now is, first of all, fill these a bit, so I hope you can see. Move these pliers out of the way. I think that was a pair of nippers that fell down the back of the desk, but they're crappy ones, so I don't really care. I don't want to put so much glue. I don't want to use thick CA glue on this, because if I do, it risks going over the magnets, and then that makes life difficult again, because then you're covering up the magnets, and that's, you lose the flat surface. I just want to put some thin in there just to, not too much. Soak some up. There we go. Just enough to get down underneath the magnets and lock them in place a little bit. Be really careful with this stuff. It really does barrel out. You've got to keep an eye on it going through the little tube. It requires almost no pressure at all. So I do that. Get some kicker on it. There, they're now kind of set in there a bit better. Because keep in mind, of course, you've got magnets in here. Every time you take them off and pull them on, you're putting stress on that CA glue. It's entirely possible that eventually they will just pop out. I've had that happen, like I said before. Magnets, they were not held in, because you only attach them with a little tiny bit of CA glue, so. There are better ways to do this. This is just the way I'm doing it now with the stuff I've got available to me. This is the tricky bit. This is where I've got to be careful now, because this stuff can fly out and I'll make a right mess. I've got to really carefully touch it to the edge of the rivet of the magnet and really keep an eye on it. Try not to have the shakes. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit of like a blob of glue around it, because you're not really going to see it. You just need to get it in there. And it's almost a case of you have to take your hand, I know you can't really see it, but you have to take your hand off the bottle. You have to stop squeezing before the glue comes out the end. You want to be not squeezing by the time the glue's about to come out. It kind of sounds really rude when you say it like that. Really is. Incredibly tiny amount of pressure needed. You have to stop and don't do it when you want to go to it. Now I will end up, I have ended up there like with a bulb of glue around the magnet, but that's fine. I don't really mind. Get it off. Get as much glue off there as you can. Now keep in mind, I had the tissue over the feeding tube. I've still got super glue tissue stuck to my thumb. The thin super glue will happily go through tissue, nobody's problem. But don't think just because you've got a bit of kitchen roll over the gluey thing, you're going to avoid covering yourself in bits of tissue and nonsense. I've got some debonder somewhere, but I'll sort it out later. I'll just wash off with soap and water, you'll be fine. So, cocktail stick. Another piece of tissue. Yeah, the thin super glue can be a wonderful tool. I do recommend strongly you get those little fine filament applicators, because trying to get that thin glue out of that bottle, just like that bottle, no, you can't put it on here, it'll just flow. You can't apply it. You can't use a brush, because basically it'll just make the brush a block. So yeah, just gotta be careful with it. Take your time, get some of them feeder tubes. Raging Modeler, I love that kitchen roll. Yeah, it's the big stuff you get from Aldi, the Blitz. That's about months, that stuff. So it's not super neat. You might not be able to see, but there is around this particular, where's my pointy stick of some sort? Around this particular magnet, there's a bit of a bulb of the thin CA glue, like a bit of a mound. It's fine. You're not going to see it anyway. I'll quickly do a test and just see. That's the wrong one. These are going to be chiral now. That one's only going to stick on that side. That one looks fine. And this one, yeah, you're not going to see that bulb of glue. Perfect. I'm really happy with that. So I need to let that dry properly. I need to clean these up. Yes, because I didn't figure out the polarity, this one won't stick on that side, because they're not the same polarity for the magnets. So there you go. Magneting doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be pretty either. So I'll let that sit for a minute. I'll have a quick look at chat. I had a load of arms to magnetize, so I made a wooden handle with arm and body written on each side and then stuck a magnet to each end. There you go. Why is this giving me anxiety, says Raging Modeler. Yeah, those tubes, they can be. You've literally got to like squeeze and it comes through, and then it'll release your grip, release your grip, and as it goes up the thin bit, just stop. It'll go a little bit, add a little tiny bit of pressure and just gently. It's all capillary action. But even just like the slightest bit of pressure is, you wouldn't believe how little pressure you need on this hard plastic bottle to get the glue to come out. A wonderful tool. This made my brain ache, says Mayhem. I was waiting for the splooge. I mean, you could not, I don't see how you can use this without one of those applicators. Fortunately, you'd have to buy them separately. So, yeah. But we'll. 1735. What else have we got today? Well, I'm not going to get the other exhausts on because I don't know how to put them. I'll put my special pin of happiness away. Because I don't think we need any more CA glue for the time being. Always have a pin is what I'm saying, basically. Always have a pin. Pin is your friend. That name again is Mr. Pin. Put that over there, back of my head, sorry. Right. Was going to ask about chirality. Yes, I mean, it doesn't really matter as long as this, you know, you get the magnets on this correct. It doesn't matter if that one can't go on that side. I mean, one of the magnets does, one doesn't. It doesn't really matter because you'd be like, oh, it's the wrong one, I'll put it on that side. So it'll be fine. I do like it. I don't like doing magnets, but I like it when it works. When I did this guy that goes in the turret here, the reason I put such a big magnet down there, you see that massive magnet there, when the guy himself, if I can find him, I've lost him now. The chap himself only has this little tiny magnet in there. It's just purely so he's not, if I did a little tiny magnet, they're not that strong. But also he'd only stick in one place. If I put a big one in there, it means I can put him there, or have him facing that way or that way. I've got some room to manoeuvre them. I can move them around quite nicely. So yeah, I thought that might be best. I thought you always need a towel, can't you? Wheel mankini. Yeah, can't see it now. Yeah, track mankini, but it's got 2 strips. Yeah. I wish I'd magnetized these though. That's going to make transporting that a pain in the butt. A right pain in the butt. Right, what else we got? We've got the big mallets. Hear me. What's his second name? Mallet. Couple of bizarre cranking handles, but no tank jack, I should point out. Oh, I've got this little window to do, haven't we? That's the point. And there's another cranking handle somewhere. It should be. Unless I've not cut it off the sprue. Yeah. Why is it not here? I cannot find my handle. Oh, it's just, yeah, there we go. For the moment. I've got the smoke dispensers, yeah, but they take about 5 minutes to clean up and they're a ball ache, so they make me think rude words. And what I can do is find my little sandy thing. First thing I want to do is clean up that little window. You remember in the instructions, it shows you to put these little periscope vents, I suppose, little viewing ports in, but it doesn't say that one. It does not mention that one at all. Well, you're supposed to. There is an extra one on the sprue. It's there. Just the instructions just do not mention it. So let's get that one now. Because it's like, well, hang on. The instructions don't even show it being added. In the instructions, it shows no little window, even in later steps. It's like, well, hang on. How bit rubbish, isn't it? Yes, it is. Easily fixed, though. You just glue it on. Ooh. Knocking things over. Dad, question, Dad, did you have KFC last night? Yesterday, because Dad was like, I don't know what to have for dinner, and I said, I don't know, what can you have for dinner, Dad? KFC. She's like, that sounds like a good idea. Yes, it is. Have KFC. Well, let's stay around. Just go on. Here you go. Oh, here's the thing. I read a thing the other day, and I can't remember what it was at all that I read. But I read an article about something. It was a factual article. It wasn't made up nonsense. It was a real article about something. And it was something about a place in the US called Silver Plume. An old silver mining village town. It's like a real small town. Like population, a couple of hundred. Somewhere in a place, I don't know where. Silver Plume it's called. And I don't know why, but I looked at some of the photographs of it and I thought, I need to live there. I need to get rich, win the lottery, and just move to America and live in Silver Plume, wherever it is. Somewhere. I don't know why, it's just, I've never done that before. I just looked at some photographs and thought, I need to live there. There's nothing there. It's like wood-built houses. There's like a few houses. There's a boat shop. There's apparently nowadays there's a shop that sells nothing but cannabis. I have no idea why. It's like in the middle of back and beyond. And I just looked at it and thought, it looks charming and quaint. I want to move there. They've probably got no broadband and no internet and no anything. I just want to. I don't know why. I just had this overwhelming urge to get rich, to just move to Silver Plume. In somebody look up where it is on and tell me where it is. It's in Colorado, I think. I don't know. Somebody have a look and tell me. It's somewhere like that. This has made a right mess of the plastic for some reason. I don't quite know why. Plastic's gone a bit glimpy around the end. That's weird. Around the edge. A Silver Plume. I don't know why. Silver Flume. No, Silver Plume. Silver and then the word PL. That's here in New Vegas. Nevada, sorry, says Timothy. Silver Plume as in plume of... Because it's apparently a silver mining village town way back. And then it became a ghost town. No, it's not a ghost town. Timothy Calico says that's here in Nevada. Yeah, it could be. I don't know why. It just looked at the photographs and I thought, I don't know why. I just want to go there. I want to live there. There's nothing there. The houses are all wood built. It's probably quite nice actually. All the pictures I saw were like from 20 years ago. So yeah, their actual website for the town website is kind of real basic. Got some cleaning to do, haven't I? I need to clean up those antennae. Silver Plume. Oh, my bad. Oh yes, sorry, yeah, Silver Plume. Like plume of smoke. Now you see, here's one of the things about CA glue. See that there, the way it's gone all kind of frosty and crusty. You have to watch for that. That's why you can never. That's why you want to avoid using CA glue after you've painted. That frostiness, where you've gone a bit too thick, sometimes you get that frostiness. Not the end of the world now, because it's going to get painted. But I've got some. I don't know how the glue's kind of spilled up there. I've got to clean that up now. Yeah, you've got to be careful with CA glue because it can do that frostiness. Ideally, you do not want to be using CA glue once you've painted, because it will knacker your paint job. Trust me on that. Just clean that up, sand it up anyway. I've got to sand it anyway, so I might as well. It's usually when you've put a big thick area of glue on, sometimes it can go a bit frosty like that. And the risk is then you paint over it and then it goes a bit, flakes off and takes the paint with it. I'm not the biggest fan of CA glue, not really. But sometimes there's just no other way to do it, sadly. I didn't realise that glue had splooged. Basically what it's done when I put the thin glue in there, it's kind of run out and gone down the side, but I didn't see that. You're not going to see that. Hey, where's my file gone? Where's my file? This whole workbench is now just covered in stuff. There's tools and I can't even begin to see where my file is. Where's my... There it is. It's a plastic card and crap everywhere. And I'm from well organised, barely, covered in crap. I don't know why. I have this urge now to one day visit Silver Plume and buy a house there and live there. I don't know why. I don't particularly want to live in the US or anything like that, but it just attracted me. I think it also doesn't help that all the photographs show it in sunny weather as well, and as do Google Maps. Shows it in kind of nice weather, which is nice, but then you see there's like skis everywhere, and it's like, yeah, in the winter, that's going to be like minus 400 degrees and like 5 feet of snow. It's going to be not that awesome. I think it's like a tourist village now, a tourist place they depend on. They've got a weed shop, which of course you have in the middle of nowhere. Some of the pictures I saw showed like a general hardware store type thing, but nowadays it's just sells marijuana basically. Right, so that's cleaned up that CA glue quite nicely. If anybody happens to know Silver Plume, do tell me what it's actually like. If it's actually just a raving pit of evil and hatred, then I'm not going to go there. It just seemed rather pleasant. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm going to file the CA glue off, that blob of CA glue. I don't want it there festering under the prime end paint. Doesn't really matter, it's only an aerial. Everything is fixable. One day I want to retire and move out of Las Vegas and into the desert. Oh, it is Nevada. I know you were thinking of Silver Flume. All right now. Wander around with pots and pans. Be a crazy old prospector type. Tell people not to go into that mine shaft. It's haunted, you hear? if you want a fun read, kind of mystery read. I like sort of people that disappear. I don't like people. I mean, things where people have disappeared. It's a mystery and stuff. When you get a chance, do a Google search. Lost me. There it is. I don't know. I can't remember the guy's name. It's going to be a tough Google search, but look for the M cave. The letter and then letter M and then cave. There was a guy, and it's all nonsense about weird. There's some guy that found a cave that something in I think Nevada, somewhere in the wilds of Nevada or somewhere, Arizona somewhere. There's something about it, but anyway, some mysteries and nonsense. Crystal hugging, crystal wearing, tree hugging nonsense. But there's something special about this cave. Apparently, he found this cave that had an entrance shaped like an M, and he posted up about it. And then he said, "I'm going to go back and find it because I can't remember exactly where it was." And he went to find it and then disappeared, and never came back. And clearly, it's a case of he went out into the wilds and became injured, or got eaten, or was interrupted some people traffickers or drug or something obviously went wrong and he got killed off, but then he never came back. But it's a nice little kind of, it's a nice mystery read. It's like the kind of almost like a creepypasta, but it's not, it's actually true. So yeah, it's one of the more easy ones to think, yeah, he just kind of fell down a mine shaft and died, probably. It's just sad, but it's not aliens. But it's a fascinating read. Other people have tried to find this cave, and I've seen, I think somebody did find it eventually, or they found somewhere that he'd been in one of his videos. I don't think it actually ever showed the cave, and it's mysteriously been filled in by someone, concreted over. I don't know, it's a fascinating little story. I like reading things like things of weird disappearances and things. They fascinate me. More often than not, there's a mundane explanation, but sometimes the tinfoil brigade can get quite carried away with it. It can be quite amusing. Right, so that's that mould line down the middle cleaned. I have got, of course, this little ribbed bit here, which I'm going to do as like a rubber. You've seen me do it before on these kind of expansion joints where you get like the rubber sock that goes around there, like on a gear stick. So I'm going to go through around that with the scribing tool. Scribing tool made to make your thing smoother. I don't know what Mama Fox wants for tea tonight. I'm kind of hoping she says let's just have a takeout, because I really can't be bothered. But I need to not eat lots of takeouts because, you know, I'm trying to get my cholesterol down and not die of a heart attack when I'm 50. And yeah. So yeah, when you get these mould lines down, these ribbed things like this, plasma weapons, anything like this, expansion joints on aerials and antennae, get yourself a scribing tool. It just means you can get the scribing tool in there and scrape away the mould line when it goes down into the recess. Anything in the recess like this, if you've got a panel line with a mould line down the middle, get yourself a scribing tool. This is going to be painted black anyway, so it's going to be hard to see, but it just helps clear it up. And there we have antenna done, and oh, hang on. Mould line on the top. Done and done, and is it that one or that one? Not that one. Done and done, and not that one. The other one. It was the first one. You spoon. Yes. Done and done and on. Yes, look at that. It's not going to come off. Quite a grippy grip. Yes, I did the magnet thing. And I can take it off when I want to transport it. Yes. Let's clean up the other one. What time are we on? Got 10 minutes. Let's clean up the other one quickly and get it done. It's back in there. Yes. I love it when a plan comes together. Not very often a plan comes together, I'll be honest. But I do love it when it does. Yeah, so anyway, my brain's like, I need to go and live in Silver Plume. I need to win the lottery enough that I can move to America without any issues and just go and live in Silver Plume. And enough that I can then say to them, oh, you don't have any internet here. I'll just pay the internet company to give us the fastest, best broadband ever for the whole town. There you go. You've all got 600 gigabit internet now. and then everybody in the town would love me, and I'd be a hero and things. In reality, of course, it's probably all banjo playing, kind of some deliverance type stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's a great place, maybe it's not. I'll have to find out. Nearly done. Don't forget, folks, if you have been watching this, thank you very much for watching. We've got, what, 39 people watching right now, probably more earlier on. Don't forget, of course, I do this for my living. This is my income. This is what I do for a job. So a big, massive thank you, as always, to my patrons and channel members who support me financially and keep this channel alive. If you would like to help this channel exist, if you'd like to help me keep making content, I will be getting back into doing proper building and filming as soon as I can. Life has gotten in the way at the minute, so I've had to just depend on live streams. If you'd like to keep this channel alive and help support it and keep it possible for me to keep doing this, then please do consider becoming a patron. Address at the bottom of the screen there, it's patreon.com/modelmakingguru. Or if you prefer, you can become a YouTube channel member by simply clicking the join button that's underneath any one of my videos. Either way, you'll be able to support the channel at a level of your choosing. And you'll get access to a few things. One of the things you'll get access to is a lot of my pre-recorded non-live video content, a week in advance, advert-free, early access. That's for patrons and for channel members. And I will be launching, I think I've decided now in the course of this stream, I will be launching some patron and member-only live streams. At first, I'll just do the first Friday and Saturday of the month, because I'll use the slots I'm already using them for my video game slots. So I'll use the first Friday and Saturday of every month. I might make them more frequent. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It might be eventually, if I get loads and loads of patrons and members, all my live streams might be members only. But they'll be advert free, of course, because they're for patrons and members. So stay tuned. We'll tell you more about that. There's all the benefits, but it's just a way to help out the channel, keep it alive, keep it supported, because I do this for my living. So how I make my crust. It's either that or sell my body, and trust me, I can't live off 2p a week. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, is it? If I sold my body, I'd be paying them. It just wouldn't work out. It wouldn't work out. Like, no. Scribing tool. Scribe your letter. Scribe you later. Yeah, I'm hoping Mama Fox just says, should we have Chinese? I'm like, oh, noodles, yeah. We've talked about noodles now, and now I want noodles. You guys, you make me talk about food, and then whatever I have for my dinner, if it's not that food, I'm just sad and unhappy. And your fault. You make me do it. My doctor says to me, how have you been doing with the low fat diet? It's terrible. I've been eating takeouts all the time because of my YouTube followers. My people that watch me on YouTube make me eat. They force me to buy takeouts and eat all the high fat stuff. I'll tell you what though. I've developed a real liking for at the minute. And it's really simple. Just oat porridge, but like proper bag of oats in a pan with water, knob of butter and some salt for breakfast. All of that. No fancy, not milk, no sugar and fruits in it. Literally just oats, flump, water, boil, 3 minutes, done. Big chunk of like sunflower spread, smack. Sprinkle of salt for the texture. Done. Really nice. Nice and filling in the morning and cleans your arteries out and does you no harm whatsoever. So I've got into that. I did for a little while have maple syrup on it, but I've run out of a little bit of a touch of the sweetness, which worked really well, but my sensitive teeth kick in and it's like, oh, for crying out loud, come on, body. Give me a chance. Give me something. I can't even eat like a single chocolate without my teeth screaming at me. My entire body's just rubbish. Give me some pleasure in life. Come on now. I can't just eat raw oatmeal, flavourless, unflavoured oatmeal with butter and salt. Not butter, it's like sunflower spread. I am polyunsaturates and all the other nonsense. So, yeah, so cruel, man. So a low-fat diet's not that bad. It's all lean meat and stuff, but it'd be nice to be able to eat sweet things, but I can't because my teeth don't want me to do that. I can't win. Now, that's got a bit scrapey on that bit there, so what I'm going to do, Bit of scrapey around the flat bits. I'm going to take some extra thin, get rid of most of it, and just moisten the brush and just run it down the recess. And that will get rid of all the scrapey in there and make it look nice and smooth when the primer goes on. There you go. And that's that one on there. Oh, listen. It made a twang noise. I can't do it again now. I'm so pleased with that. You've never seen me do magnets before. I'm so pleased with that. I can't tell you how pleased I am. I'm very pleased. I'm more pleased than a pleased thing on a pleasing day, doing pleasing things for pleasing people, which is what I'm doing right now. If I can get this thing on. I can never get... Oh, Ted, oh, do you know? Right, that goes on there. So, just clean that off. So now we have the Baneblade. I'm under the desk, hang on. Baneblade with 4 aerials. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. But, oh, look at that! Look at that! I can put it in the box now, yeah. Ooh. Yes, yes. So again, this is an experiment for me for future ones. So in the future, when it comes to building this, if I build them to sell them, I can magnetize these and have them removable for whoever buys it, then they can store it. So in the future, I won't glue these on. I should have thought that when I glued them on, but they looked really pleasing to glue on, and I just glued them on, and it was like, oh, that was bad. Now you can see a little bit of frosty around here from that super glue, from that CA glue, but only a tiny touch, so that should hopefully go away. Not anything I need to worry about. I might just give that a bit of a blitz with the sander there. Where are we? Where's my brush? You can brush some of that off. If needed, I could sand it. It's not actually that visible. If I hold it up to the light, it's fairly flat. There is going to be weathering there anyway. You can't see the magnets. Right. The beauty of this is, if I do have any lumpy bits from the super glue, I can just paint them as corrosion. So there you go. That's the advantage of that. That's the beauty of whatever it was. Some of it's just powder. You just dust. You just brush it off. There you go. It's just dusty texture. I'm really pleased with that. That's the beauty of surf. That's what I was thinking of. You can see a little gap where the magnets are, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. It's fine. I could have drilled holes and made them flush, but I'm not fussed. We'll put him back there. He's not glued on yet. I could, what I could do, again for transportation purposes, I was just going to glue this turret on. Got to be careful of that stubber, it's resin. I was just going to glue this turret on. But it's possible, I suppose, that I could come up with some sort of plastic card magnet shenanigan here, just to snick that into place. But I don't know, because I've built the turret now, so it's kind of hard to get in there and get plastic card under that little recess. So it may be that that just sits loosely, or I don't know. I may glue it on once it's painted. We'll see. Again, it's just for transport. I mean, I've got to take account of these anyway, so it doesn't really matter if he's... I mean, I've got this guy here who is just magnetized, so he can be taken out. And that's purely so I can have him in different positions and he looks normal. That, I suppose I could glue then, couldn't I? Once he's painted up, I suppose. We'll see. We'll see. I've taken the turret off again. It's going to be making me swear again now, isn't it? Oh no, first time. There you go. Okay, a couple of little last bits to do then. We've got little tools. I'll do something with the stubbers. We've got the smoke dispensers. We'll do them next week. We'll get them finished next week. Shouldn't take too long. I don't think I'm going to be able to get these barrels on anywhere. Let's be perfectly honest with it. I mean, they could... Can't really get them on the turret. That's kind of taking the mickey now. Probably have fuel barrels on the turret. That would be stupid. Could have... There isn't anywhere really to put them. I don't think we'll get those barrels on. It would be fun to get more barrels, like just a barrel without this stuff going around it. I could, of course, somehow cobble that into there, but that might look a bit silly. No, I don't think we'll get the barrels on there. We've got the little bits and bobs we can add next time. I never showed my bits box, but we'll have a go through my bits box, bits bags and stuff next time as well. Have a quick look and see if we can do anything like rifles and things we can attach to them like this, or rucksacks and things as if they're stowed on the outside. I don't think I've got any like base bedding rolls and netting rolls or anything like that I can use, sadly, but never mind. Never mind, it's not the end of the world. I think so. We'll get that done next week, and I think next week that won't take us too long, because there'll be nothing particularly complicated next time. It'll just be fairly basic stuff, so we should be able to just crack on and get this finished and start on the next one, which will be most likely the Land Raider Crusader, unless I choose to make it something else, which is entirely possible. Don't count it out just yet. Anyway, that's going to do us for today. Take off my lenses. That's going to do us for today. We've done quite a bit. Thank you very much for your company while I worked. It's been very kind of you to hang around. Quick last look at chat. I enjoy living here. It's haunted. You're here. Nevada is hot and dry. I moved away from Pennsylvania and it's winters. Yeah, Pennsylvania. Man Cave of Death. You want KFC? I don't want KFC. It's Panzerkönig for my tea at 3 a.m. I have a nice braised steak and mash and tatties. Why are you having tea at 3 a.m.? Now I want Chinese. You should always have Chinese. Pad Thai. Ooh, Pad Thai. I've gone off the Pad Thai because for some reason, because from issue I have my teeth, for some reason, started like, I'm getting stuff stuck between my teeth all the time, and the pad Thai I have is a nightmare for getting in between. Oh, it's like the minute you finish it, you've got to go in with the dental brushes and get all the crap out. It's like, oh, it's really annoying. I hate the feeling of something stuck between my teeth, and that's really a bugger for it. I don't know why. We don't force you, folks. You do. Korean barbecue. Yeah, I love some Thai food, and it's got to be make you sweat spicy. I'm not that big fan of spicy. Right now, I don't know who's on tonight after me. It's either Chris at, I guess, 8:30 or 8. If you're in chat, Chris, please say in chat. It's either going to be Chris over on Gross Models, who I will guess is at 8 o'clock or 8:30, or it's going to be Ted over on Skipper Scale Models, who tends to start at 9. Or it could be both of them, but I don't know who it is. I don't know which channel it's on. So if either of you are in chat, please put in chat where you are. If not, then just keep an eye on Skipper Scale Models and Gross Models channels for this evening. They'll both be on. Dad, if you're still in chat, are you doing a stream this evening, or are you not doing an in-between stream? I'm guessing you're not. Do say in chat. Also keep an eye on Scaly Models. He's not done one for quite a while, but he's going to get back into it, I think, eventually. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. But there is content later on today, because Sunday is the streaming day when we all do streaming stuff. Mayhem is having minted lamb with roast potatoes. Oh, yes. Raging Models having spaghetti and meatball. Spaghetti and meatball. A spicy meatball. Yes, great. I need to not look at your food mentions now because it's making me hungry. Yeah, so check out Scaly Models. Scales. Hang on. Coffee. Oh. Scaly Models, Skipper Scale Models, and Gross Models. One of them will be streaming tonight at some point between now and 9 o'clock. And that will do us nice. Don't forget, of course, I'm back tomorrow for the E-Models Monday live show. I think it's my What's in Store tomorrow. Or it might not be. It could be not me. It might be me. I think it's me. Good God. Might be me. Yes, so E-Models show tonight on the E-Models YouTube channel tomorrow night, at 9 p.m. And then, of course, I'm back on Friday and Saturday with the gaming. I will, again, this week, try and get some time to work on the Lehman Russ, the Tabletop Trauma Centre Lehman Russ, which has still not gone anywhere in the last 6 weeks because I really haven't had the chance to do any work on it. And I've not done any filming at all. It's a real nightmare. I've got so much I need to do. Chris says it's Chris tonight at 8 o'clock. So there you go. 8 o'clock at Gross Models. On Gross Models. I think he's still doing his Matalan Fridge Raider. I think. I will try and get some filming done. Try. I'll do my best. I do need to. But yeah, that's going to do us. So thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. I'm going to make sure, I was about to say I'm going to make sure my buttons still work, but I've changed the way things work and I haven't got a test button to press to make sure buttons work. Unless I do a TED.
Slap it on.
Which works. Actually, in that case, I have got a test button. But yes, that's nice. Thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Do stay safe. If you can, stay indoors. There's no reason to go outside. The graphics are rubbish and everybody's horrible. Stay indoors, eat food, wash your hands, and if you must go out, wear a mask. Until next time, I shall say take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. Do some magnets. Magnets are brilliant. I love magnets now. Take care of yourselves. Adios, amoebas. Where's the button? Where's the button?